Unmuting.
Unmutant.
Sane. Hello there, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
Hopefully you can see us in our tiny boxes this time.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen the Twitch.
It's a different overlay.
I'm gonna click clack.
Oh, man. I couldn't
Now I
figure
gotta
out the ratios.
That's me getting to Twitch.
Welcome to Geekspective Presents For the Queen. For the Queen is a game made by Alex Roberts and published by Evil Hat Productions. And it's a game that I've really wanted to play for a while, but haven't really got the chance. And since we're down a player today, I figure why not play it?
Tonight's the night.
That's right. You can find me at Twitter at EvilDMJosh, and you can find a whole bunch of other great shows at Geekspective.com and on Twitter at Geekspective. And also, for those on YouTube, as here as well. Or there as well, I should say. Let's go around the table and everyone introduce themselves. Let's start with Amber? Yeah.
Like me hovering above the void that is below me right now. All right. Hi, I'm Amber. She, her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Rocket Orca. That's me. Since I don't have a box up, we have no names.
No names. This is what happens when This was more of a last minute decision kind of deal. Over there, Brother John.
Hi, I'm Brother John, and you can find me on Twitter at Monochrome Guy or at That Drawer, and there's an underscore between both of those, in between words.
That's true. Then right underneath him, John.
Hi, I'm John. I am not playing Gerlach tonight, so you can find me at Crossways GM on Twitter, and sometimes I even check it.
Sometimes. And last but not least, Dave.
Hey, it's Dave. Wait, it's me. It's me, Dave. Hi, if you want me, you can find me on Twitter at Steady Minotaur. That's all I got.
That's fine.
For the Queen!
For the Queen. So, I don't think any of us has played For the Queen before, but luckily, we are playing on Roll20. Yes. We're playing on Roll20, and they have a module. If you don't want to buy the physical game, they have one on, not for sale, but pretty good price. And this game is run all via the deck that's provided. And so Amber is going to draw a card from the green deck that's called Instructions, and she shall read what it says. Go ahead and throw it up on the screen in the prompt box, if you may, Amber.
I'm choosing. So the rules tells me to choose, and there's 20 cards to choose from.
Oh, do you not have a draw? Is this a choose?
Nope. Yep.
So go ahead and just choose the very top one.
Go around the table.
That was tiny.
I can't. I can't make it big.
Wow.
Here,
I can't make it.
I'll make
How
it
do I
big.
make
Stop
it
it big. Here we go.
Stop. Okay, everybody, prepare for us to act like tiny children.
That's right.
Who don't know how to handle ourselves, because I want to touch and click on everything. Okay, so I drew one card, and it says, go around the table clockwise, taking turns, reading these cards aloud.
I shall choose the next one. Very tiny cards.
Our queen cards were not that tiny.
No, I'm guessing
They're like business cards.
Yeah.
Oh.
The land you live in has been at war for as long as any of you have been alive.
Okay.
True.
True. Next one is John. I'm just going to drag them out, and you can read, and then hopefully for the next deck it'll...
Brother John?
No, John.
John.
There you go, John. You're muted, John.
I was really reading it well, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Queen has decided to undertake a long and perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power. Dun, dun, dun.
I'd like to choose Dare.
Yeah. Dave, here you go.
The Queen has chosen all of you, and no one else to be her retinue and accompany her on this journey.
She chose poorly.
Yeah.
Here you go, Brother
Bad
John.
judgment on that
Ooh,
one.
here you go.
She chose you because she knows that you love her.
But does she really?
It's true.
What do you mean? Does she really know that we love her? I mean, maybe.
Me again?
It's up to Amber again. Yep.
Yes. You are welcome to look through the queen cards for inspiration. If there is one that seems right for the group, place it on the table to inspire your story. John, flip that queen card. Brother John.
Brother John. Yep.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
This is the queen we chose.
This is the queen.
And we love her.
I
We-
love her.
She
So
is
now that I-
terrible, and we love her.
We
Now
love
that I have seen her, I love her.
If I could be stroked by those claws, my life would be complete.
Oh.
her bony knees. Just like
Is this what's her name from
Yes.
Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah.
Yzma.
Kind of looks like her. Yeah.
Yzma. Oh, John, you gotta be Kronk tonight. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I can't. Not tonight.
The next is set the card that reads the queen is under attack. Do you defend her? Aside. We will not do that because we're playing roll 20. Physical, you would do that. Roll 20, we don't need to, luckily.
Oh, that's cool. So 8 is John.
John. Do not do it.
Shuffle the red prompt cards and place them face down in the center of the table.
Roll 20 has I've already done this because of the next rule. Here you go, Dave.
But the queen is under attack card in the middle of the deck for a game that takes approximately 30 minutes, or shuffle it into the bottom third of the deck to play for an hour or more.
It will take longer than that because of how we'll probably play it. But yes, in theory, this game can be played extremely fast if you're into those kinds of stuff. But we're going to show you a slight variant, hopefully. It's not very much a variant. It's more of an interpretation of the rules that will probably extend this longer, probably like 2 to 3 hours, 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
Are you just assuming we're going to play it terribly? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Or like we're just gonna go off on lots of tangents
Yes.
and just like drool over the queen.
Yep.
Okay.
My love for this queen is a slow thing that cannot be rushed.
Who's next? Who reads next?
Dave. I believe.
Dave.
No, wait, Dave
Brother
just
John.
did it.
Brother John. Yeah.
Oh. It was just Dave. Now it's Brother John.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the red prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud. Interpret these questions and answer them however you wish.
So are the instruction cards always in this order? I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
The instruction cards are always in this order.
I really like this
Yeah.
as an can we just side off for a second?
Uh-huh.
As a instructional designer, user experience person, I love that you just get one rule at a time. Easy, progressive disclosure. I just need to know it when it comes out. Beautiful, love it.
Mhm.
A+. My favorite game right now.
All right. Well, it's your turn, Amber.
Oh, 11. Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn, but whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you.
Number 12 is me. Place the X card somewhere where everyone can easily see it. With roll 20, boom, it's right there. Anyone.
Oh, I got my own too.
Okay.
Is that what the
exact-
big X is for?
That's what the big X is for. It's because here you go.
Same.
Does an alarm go off if we touch it?
No, here you go. Here's you can read it, John. Next card.
If you encounter a card or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the X card. That content is removed from the game.
How do I tap in?
So
roll
just
20?
double click, or is it
Nothing is happening.
shift click?
What?
Uh,
I scared
The
myself.
queen.
Yeah, I scared myself. as
I
put
just
the-
always have an X.
X card has already been placed on roll 20. To tap the X card, you can click and hold down. Oh, click and hold. There we go.
There you go. I see. Cool.
That was the
Which
other
Which
mod.
was me. I'm blue.
I am black. There we
Cool.
go.
Got it.
I am apparently gray.
I mean,
No
that's
idea what color I am.
That's so girl-like. Dave, you are also a gray. I can change your color if you want.
Can I get an
Isn't it
orange?
cool?
Yes, I'll make you orange.
Can I change my own color?
Yeah, you can change your own color.
Oh, I'm changing the hell out of that.
How do I change my color?
Oh, we got to take a sidebar. We all got to change our colors.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I get it now.
I just want-
Dave,
yeah.
here's your
I'll
card.
say it's red.
Hold on, I'm changing my color.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
This is very important to the game.
Yeah, this
It
I mean,
is,
as far
actually.
as I can tell, this is the best part of the game. Lavender.
Oh,
Nice.
that's how do I change my color?
Click on the color
Where?
by
Does it
your
say-
name.
Click
Oh.
on the color box.
Ooh, I can get pink. Woohoo. Okay.
All right, Dave.
Done.
Colors, colors, colors.
If you draw a card that is removed this way, simply draw another card. You can X a card that you drew yourself.
Yep. And
It's very dramatic.
Here you go, Brother John.
Okay. You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, I'd like to hear your answer to this question.
I love it. So you
Yeah.
can choose not to even exit and just be like, no, you go answer it.
Yes, that's
It's
fine.
I love it. All right,
man.
16, Amber.
A prompt card can be passed around the table until someone applies the X card to it. Okay.
What kind of game are we playing here, man?
Well, I don't know what to see. Continue answering, passing, and Xing questions until the Queen is under attack card is drawn.
Okay.
Okay.
And then John?
Each player should answer that question in turn, then the game is over.
And Dave.
Whoever wants to can draw the first prompt card.
I'm going to recall these. Goodbye. And I'm going to hide the deck. Close this. All right. And that's how this works. So before we begin play, though, this game is like very large, or in scope it could be, right? So I want to narrow our scope a little bit down. We're going to be playing in Mox Ferry, or not in Mox Ferry proper. We're going to be playing on the continent that Mox Ferry is in. And it's
so so you want to say what that is for the listeners?
Yeah, so Mox Ferry is a megalopolis that is part from our very long-running campaign that's been running for 10 years now. Originally in D&D 3.5, and now we're playing Godbound. We've played other game systems in Mox Ferry before. You can find it all at Tales from Mox Ferry's podcast and stream, and also Evil as Evil Does if you want to go back to old D&D 3.5. So it's a very high fantasy kind of world. The thing, though, is we are going to be playing hundreds of years before any of the podcasts or content that's been created, that's been out now. So the question is, do we want to be Mox Ferry centered, like start for like all the people originating around Mox Ferry, or do we want to go to like the Wild Woods, which is wet in the Western continent?
Ooh, you're giving us options.
These are your two options. Just remember that we are part of a retinue that's on a convoy. So we will be leaving wherever we originate from, but it helps kind of, focus us a little bit down on, inspiration and the like.
Should we build up the Wild Woods? Or we'll be leaving the Wild Woods, or we'll be leaving Mox Ferry to go someplace else.
To help determine that, I would say if we look at our queen, does she look like she'd be somebody from the Wild Woods or someone from the blasted north?
I think she would not be from the Wild Woods. Our queen looks like she was in Mox Ferry.
Oh shit! Made everything go. Great job, me. Sorry.
Happened.
Windows did its thingy and everything disappeared.
We're back.
All right.
Surprise.
She looks to me like she's from the Black Sands.
We could do the Black Sands as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do the Black Sands. So a lot of our. So go ahead and go to page 2 of our notes. So
we have more than one page of notes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of factions and families and all this kind of stuff that's been created in our games, and so some of it I'm going to say is probably still around. If you wish to reference it, you don't need to reference any of the stuff we've already established because it's hundreds of years prior, but this is more like stuff that could have been already established by then.
Sure.
So for people that have never watched our stuff, there's the Crystal Hammer, which is pretty much a wizard mafia, the Order of Transcription, the Academy of the most prestigious magic users of the realm. There's the Beasts of the Night Alliance, an alliance between vampires, werewolves, and other beasts of the night. The Tinkerers Guild, an eccentric group of weird gnome inventors. The Goblin Bank Confederacy, a group of banks to not be messed with that are ran by goblins. And the Farmers Allegiance, and that's probably not really applicable for this one. I'm going to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
You don't know.
they got their start in the Black
Put
Sea.
it back.
I'll put it back.
They
They're
got their druids.
they are.
That's how they grew their food in the
I
sands.
guess so. A druid
Yeah.
circle that grows super enhanced enchanted crops. There's also lore influences if you wish to draw from Moxaria. There are the 4 bloodlines, the Underhills, which are the halflings, the Malacirons, which are elves, Marians, which are humans, and the Stouts, which are dwarves. They're all like the bloodlines of very well-to-do families. But there's plenty of room since we're playing the Black Sands to just make up groups. So don't worry, you don't need to reference any of these groups I just talked about. It's just giving you space because when it's wide open, it can be sometimes really hard to just be like, there you go.
Oh, well,
I know.
don't worry about us, Josh.
I'm.
Give
It's
us an
just.
open
we got
space.
this.
I know,
We'll
but
fill it with all sorts of crazy stuff.
I know it's
I
just
should
more
say
of
all
like.
sorts of interesting things.
Last but not least, we will all be playing a character. You don't
Okay.
need to have the character's name or anything like that now. You can find that
Got it.
you can get inspired through play, and at some point be like,
Swordfield.
yeah, this is who they are, this is what their race is, or whatever lineage doesn't matter. And I think that's it. Any other questions before we begin?
I would just like to point out that I did change my avatar picture, but you have to reload the page to get to it.
Oh, I am.
Oh, it's not being shown on Twitch,
Yes,
so it's okay.
that's
It's
right.
I
okay.
know, but I mean, this isn't for Twitch, it's for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll refresh my page and see it.
Thank you,
Yes,
Amber.
just to see.
Oh, I was
Dave.
about to say, Amber, you get to draw first.
Oh, I will, but I'm refreshing first.
All right.
because Dave went out of his way to.
Dave, what the hell is that?
But I can't see it.
It's a bringing Alice to Athens thing. It's a
Oh,
picture
it's
of a
the
fish I
fish.
showed him
Mhm.
that has like a man's face on the top of its head. It's really creepy.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like
Nice.
Seaman.
Can we
So
go back to
anyway.
the symmetric pattern you were before?
No, I like this better.
Actually,
This
I do-
represents who I am.
I do have one other thing before we start. So, as the rules talked about, like the person that answers the prompt if they choose, but also everyone else should be invited to ask questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, why was that? How was that? You know, yada yada. And also, I invite everyone to like we can do mini role playing scenes. Like I could
Yep.
I could play the queen or other characters. I like. And that's one reason why it'll take more than an hour is to be willing to be like let's role play that out and see why or how that happened and stuff like that.
All right, you want me to draw a prompt card?
Yep.
I'm drawing one prompt card, and it's probably gonna be tiny, and I
I
cannot
don't know. Let's
see. Oh,
see.
I have it. Oh no!
Put it
Okay.
Put in the prompt.
I put it in the prompt
Amber
thing.
says, "Oh no."
Okay,
under attack.
so there is a false rumor about you and the queen back at the royal court. What is it? How did it start? Okay, I am thinking that okay, so I'm either a goblin or a gnome. I haven't decided yet.
Hmm.
Looking at the queen, I think I'm gonna be a goblin, because why not? I want to say that there's probably, you guys can say this, that maybe my goblin has like sold their soul to the queen. Like I've sold my soul to the queen, and that's the false rumor.
Hmm.
And how did it start? Is because I literally like, I don't know. I'm both enamored and terrified of our queen.
So as a player that's supposed to ask questions, if I
Yes.
want to,
Yep.
does our queen have that kind of power to like own souls and stuff? Is she magically inclined?
If she doesn't, she knows somebody who can extract souls and legal documents. I mean, if she's part of the Black Sands company that does a lot of trade, she knows devils. She knows how to make contracts.
Okay.
And my my poor
Does
goblin.
does our queen normally consort with goblins? Is that a thing?
I think she has a pretty big entourage of goblins, and they're all vying for her attention and her love, and she gives them out little tokens of like badges, like little badges.
Mhm.
And so of course when she gave me the shiniest and biggest and most gaudy badge, everyone was like, oh, what did he do? What did Clark get up to that he got the biggest? He must have sold his soul.
Oh, so is that how it started? The other goblins and the entourage
Yeah, I
got
bet just
jealous?
all the other goblins were like, they're the ones spreading it. Did you hear about Glorp?
Is Glorp a leader in the goblins?
He likes to think so.
Okay.
We can
Yeah.
find out more through play as well. I think
Yes.
I don't have any questions. Does anyone else?
I think we answered that
Alright.
question, and it sounds like it at least.
All right.
I'll give it a few more minutes.
Yep.
Anybody got any more questions?
No. Here we go. I'll go then. Boop. Come on. Oh man. What promise did the queen make to you before this journey? Do you think she'll keep it? Oh boy. Need to put my there. What promise did she make to you before?
What do you desire?
I think she promised that she would announce that I'm her actual son, and that I am the next in the line of the throne, and that she had the son out of wedlock.
Okay.
What
Are
kind
you
of-
really
made-
her
so-
son?
Do you think
So
she'll keep it?
do you think she'll keep it? Yeah, I was gonna say. She made
Yes,
you the
I
promise
think-
that
I
she's
think
the
she'll
son,
keep
and
it.
she'll keep it.
If
I
I'm her
she'll,
don't
like-
son,
think she will.
You think she'll abide by her? You're saying she'll abide by her statement to you?
yes.
What kind of a person are you? Will we want you as our ruler?
Yeah.
Good
Good question.
question. Do you, I think they are well spoken, or I'm well spoken. If I'm being as the character, I'm well spoken and
You're
What?
well studied, or
well
anything? You have,
studied,
like-
and I'm like
okay.
very reserved. But I think for some people that have spent time with me, they know that
What's the last hot dog eating contest that you won?
we don't do
Not
that.
entered, but won.
What kind of status do you hold in relation to this queen, though? Because it seems like she's like took you to the side and's like, "Yo, you're my son." But it's like, then what? Did she? Were you like?
I've always been.
Were you like nobody before? Or
I
what happened
just-
there?
I was raised by some, well-to-do people, but I've been in the military academy and then, been in whatever armed forces since one can be.
Do you know how to
Okay.
fence?
Absolutely, I know how to fence.
Do
Absolutely.
you know how to tie some knots?
Of course,
Like
square
sailor's
knots.
Do you do you own a menagerie?
I hope to own a menagerie one day. If the queen keeps her word, I should have, access to it because it shall be mine.
Wow. Caging animals for your own pleasure is horrendous, and you don't have my vote.
You don't have.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Non-menagerie related. Are there others who also are forwarding a claim?
Yes, I think so. I think there is at least one other child, and I'm clearly older than them. So in theory, I should be the one that takes the throne next.
It's me, Glorp.
It's me, God.
I'm the son.
All right. No other questions.
I don't think. Did you have a name at all, or did
No,
you
not
just
yet.
wanna
I don't
go?
know my name
Okay.
is yet.
Well, okay. Well, okay.
Yep.
No worry about it.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
Draw one card.
Mhm.
Why isn't it?
So it's in your deck or in your holding. So now you have to.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. I got to open my deck first.
Mhm.
What did you bring with you that endangers the queen? Well, I am the queen's most trusted man at arms, and I brought with me the I don't want to call it a phylactery, but sort of a phylactery, a particular item
There's
that
no such a thing as a sort of phylactery.
it is a particular item that has much of her power stored in it, and it needs to be close by, and I am sworn to protect it.
Okay, so then I have a follow-up question. Is there a reason why she has most of her power stored away in some external vessel?
Yes, because if some assassin was to try and take it from her,
Mhm.
she needs it to be well protected.
Oh, I mean, if so, it's like she gets killed, she would still be able to reform from her power.
Exactly.
I see. I see. I
That sure
see.
sounds like a phylactery to me.
Well,
It
but she's
sounds
not.
like a
I don't think we've
Horcrux.
established that she's undead.
No.
So I'm thinking more like the Ring of Sauron sort of thing, where
Was
Tell
there
me more about your position as the
man at arms?
I am
highest man at arms or whatever you-
yeah, exactly. I am the captain of her personal protective detail, and I have been in the Queen's service for longer than most people can remember.
What's something heroic that you've done that has earned you this honor?
When the urchins attacked her in the street, I beat them off, and I have valiantly defended her against hordes of the hungry and poor, and I have successfully defended her honor in many a duel.
Hmm.
You beat children in the street?
They deserved it. They tried to touch Her Majesty.
Was
Don't
there
crowd the Queen. Stay away from the Queen.
was there a special ceremony or anything that was performed when she gave you this?
Well, it would be secret. It was not a public ceremony.
So it's not common knowledge that you possess this.
I would think it would be dangerous to the Queen if anyone knew.
What does it look like?
That's an interesting question. I'm open for suggestions. I was originally thinking it was a blood red rock in the shape of a heart, but I don't
But
know.
it's inset into your actual chest,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
no one knows.
Yeah, I can see that.
Huh.
Okay.
I was gonna say a briefcase that glowed gold when you opened it. I like
Nice.
your idea better.
I
That's
think
very
it'd be-
pulpy.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the ceremony we don't know is that you had to have it implanted into you.
Mhm.
Like Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got.
It's just there, but it's under
What's
your
it called?
breastplate or whatever, so you can't really see it.
I keep want to call it Arkenstone. The Arkenstone.
Arc
the
reactor?
Altspark,
I don't
the
remember.
arc reactor. Thank you. Is that the right word?
That
Thanks.
is the right word for Iron
All
Man,
these-
yes.
All these things that are arc.
Tony Stark built that in a cave with
That's
a bunch
right.
of scraps.
Well-
With a
Maybe
box of
maybe we maybe it's called the Heart of the Sand.
Ooh.
Oh,
scraps. Ooh.
Ooh.
write that down.
Crap, we're gonna go on a
Or-
quest to find that at some point.
That yeah, I know exactly. It's like this is like 100 years before us, so of course it's
It's
going to
w-
be like some sort of object that we find in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Mwah, lore building for Josh.
Yeah, this is-
GM prep for Josh right now.
It is.
Yeah,
for-
this is basically GM prep.
It
what
is.
this is.
I think we answered that question unless anybody has any more questions.
No, I don't have any questions.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
I'm
think I'm solid. Yeah.
All right, Dave, you get to draw the next one.
Start singing a song.
Blinded by light.
Nope. You're gonna get DMC takedown. You got to make it legally
Do
distinct.
you want me to move it for you, Dave?
Yes, please. I can't.
All right, no problem.
There we go. Why are some others at the royal court jealous of your relationship with the queen?
Oh my God.
Well, it's obvious. I am most favored. I, Kathy, leader of the Queen's archery regiment, which guards the shipments that travel north from the Black Sands. Obviously, I curry favor with the Queen. If it not for my archers and their protection, the kingdom would not be as wealthy as it is. I bring the Queen wealth and power. With wealth comes power. Who wouldn't be jealous of that?
What kind of power or favor has the queen given you due to this circumstance?
Well,
Yeah, what makes them jealous about
I
Yeah,
this
get
relationship?
because it
extra
sounds-
rations. Well, obviously, I sit in on the sorry, I'm trying to think. The meetings of the royal court. I get favors from the queen in forms of extra rations for food and water. I get um, my I get a share of the the spoils that we get when we fend off raiders and barbarians. Probably a better word. Merchant caravans.
Yeah, we've also been at war this whole time. I guess that's as they talked about it earlier. So being able to guard our supply lines is actually pretty important because we need. If not, the war would be
right.
really
As those
lopsided.
caravans leave the Black Sands loaded with black sand, and probably other exports as well. They're constantly under attack, and if not for Kathy, the leader of the gosh, I need to think of a good name for this group. This is, I think, where you guys help. What's the good name for the band of all female archers that protects the
Queen's Needles?
Oh yes, thank you. God, John, you're good at this. Yes, the queen. As I, Kathy, leader of the Queen's Needles. Yes, I of course people would be jealous. Not only are people jealous of my court relationship with the queen, but also my skill honed over years and years.
Awesome.
Okay.
So, are you saying you said you had extra rations? Are you saying that food is kind of tight for the kingdom?
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously we're at war. We live in a desert. I mean, yeah, food and water are both, in addition to medical supplies and other luxuries, that would come from a more fertile topography. Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions?
I think I'm good. I don't
Thinking
I don't
about
have
Kathy.
anything. Yeah, I'm thinking about.
I don't envy you at this point, brother John. I feel like we've set you up to or painted you into a corner, for lack of a better
Oh
word.
no, I got some good ones.
Okay.
I got some good ideas. I wonder.
Good.
I'm kind of
Kathy.
excited to see what kind of card I draw.
Does Kathy have any battle scars?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes. Kathy has a is missing. Let me think. Hang on. Yes, Kathy's missing an ear.
Okay.
Taken by a spear in battle.
Damn goblins.
Hey.
Wow.
Excuse you.
We're talking about the bad goblins that come from other places.
They're bad. Okay, whatever. I did not eat Kathy's ear. Gross.
And it didn't taste good with ketchup.
Brother John, you want to draw a card?
I will now draw a card. Believe in the heart of the cards. Draw a card. Let's see what this is. What do you do for the queen that anyone else can do, and why does she make you do it?
Greaseor.
Well,
Greaseor?
Are you a monkey? Do you grease the queen?
Oh, see the episode of Tales from Monster when it comes out. Greaseor the grease monkey. Okay. I'll okay, so what I do for the queen is I run her fan club. I am the leader of her fan club, and the reason why she makes me do it is because I'm the one that's the most passionate. We create zines, we send them all across the Moxbury. We make sure they get into everyone's hands, talking about her glory and how magnificent it is. And I do not falter in my mission to spread the good word about our beloved queen, Death Scream. Queen Death Scream.
Queen Death Scream. All right.
I don't know what
is that a nickname?
It's probably our fan club's nickname. We just think it sounds really cool.
Right.
It could be that it's one of those. It's like the Pope, and they assume a new name upon upon becoming regent.
And the reason why she has me do it is because she knows that I have undying passion for her. I would I would be torn asunder for her. I'd be drawn and quartered for our queen if anything to see her succeed in her goals. You know, I am that.
So it
I'm a
sounds like
queen fanatic.
so it sounds like you're doing this out of your own volition because the question says, why did
Oh
she
yes.
make you do it?
Oh yes, I do not receive funds from the queen. I do not, but I am so. Why does she make me do it? She makes me do it because well, one, I do it for free, completely for free. I love to do it. I totally do it for her. You know, sometimes when I say, you know, don't worry about it, queen, I got it covered, I hear her laugh happily behind my back, and it makes me so happy to know that I'm doing the work for her.
What was the piece of art or literature or whatever that brought the attention to the queen that made her make you do this?
The tension that made her make me do
Yeah,
this.
what was that one thing that was you created that brought her attention to you?
Oh, well, we made this amazing, like, you know, very inspiring poster. It was like red and black and no, red and blue in color, and it said, oh shoot, I'm making a joke. I'm making the obvious joke, but I can't remember what the the phrase was on it. I don't remember. What was Barack Obama's? The you know what was it? Hope
Hope
or something like that. something beautiful.
Only,
It was like,
only it says death.
yeah. And she saw that poster. She saw that.
Yeah, it's a hope,
yeah.
but you turned it a certain way.
Yeah.
It says death.
Yeah, or whatever. And she loved it. She said it was great. And she was like, you know what? I'll do more of this. And she didn't ask me. She said, do more of this. And I said, okay. I said, you got it, queen. And you know, even though I'm only dressed in sackcloth, like, you know, I can barely afford extra ration. Or I can barely afford a ration.
You have 2 banana peels strapped to the bottom of your feet. They're your slippers.
They're a little slippery. No pun intended with my slippers. But you know, you make
so
do what you
are
got.
you also the inventor of slippers?
If it wasn't for the queen, I wouldn't even have these slippers or sackcloth. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
She ate the bananas and threw them down the ground, hoping that you would slip on them. Instead, you picked them up.
Oh, she didn't have to hope. I looked for them. I was out there. I was like, she's had to eat a banana sooner or later. I gotta get these peels. I gotta get whatever I can.
Wow.
My character is so desperate.
Are you a jester? Were you a jester before?
I was planning to be a jester to begin with, but then I was like, no. I was either going to be like a really crazed fan club guy, or I'm going to be a jester. And I like this idea that
both.
Maybe she thinks I'm a jester too.
We could find out through more cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's my character, Frollo.
Brother John, is your character a known person, or do you work in anonymity?
Frollo believes that they play an important role in the Queen's campaign, but everyone knows him as behind his back. You know, I'm not going to role play this. I think that they refer to him as the Queen's fool. You know, like he's literally like enchanted with this queen for whatever reason, and just would just die for her. Like if she just asked, he would just do it. You know, that's his character. I know that's a little extreme.
Oh, it's good.
But you know, I figured I wanted something that wasn't so like, well, he's under the. I wanted to play an unconventional character in this.
For sure. Makes sense. It's great.
Amazing.
I was a little laggy. Could you please reiterate for me that your character's name is Froyo?
It's Frollo. Yeah.
From Hunchback of Notre Dame?
You know, Frollo is a name, and not every person named Frollo is from the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I know one Frollo, and he comes from one movie called The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Frollo it is.
I don't know anybody named Froyo.
Froyo.
Are you keeping track of names, Josh?
I'm trying, yeah.
I am Captain Zahid, or maybe I'm General Zahid.
General Zahid.
Josh doesn't have a name.
Not yet. I'm stewing on it. It's okay.
I'll keep track of it too.
Oh, your
just
name is
for my
Stu.
own sake.
Hey, Dave, are you Kathy with a C or Kathy with a K?
I think I'm Kathy with a K.
Okay.
Mhm.
General Zahid, Kathy.
Maybe a
Zahid.
K and an IE is how I'd prefer it.
Ugh, no.
Do you have a rank, Kathy? Does Kathy have a rank at all?
I
Captain,
don't
or-
think the Queen's Needles recognize rank.
Okay.
Ah, it's a flat.
Although I've said like 8 times that I'm the leader, so
We'll see, we
I
can
know,
find
you're
out
like,
why.
there's
I
a lot of
lead the
mysteries about the
Queen's
Queen's Needles.
Yep. Sounds like Amber, you can draw a card.
Ooh, fun draw. One card, please. Oh, this is fun. Where'd it go? I can't move
Here,
it.
I got
it
it.
is. Okay. What makes the queen ugly in your eyes? Wow. There's very little things about our queen that is ugly to Glorp. Glorp finds beauty in some of the most disgusting and horrendous things. I think one time I saw her gingerly pet and lovingly caress a cat, and that was disgusting. Why was she being kind to a horrible street cat, a mangy cat? No. Disgusting. That's ugly. Wait, this goes against how I feel about animals.
Maybe it's just cats you're-
I didn't like her. I didn't like that she was showing kindness, essentially. And
Why?
that was ugly to me.
Why doesn't Glarp like the kindness being shown?
Well, I mean, come on. She's our evil queen. Am I right? Other people?
Yeah, you're right.
I would
You're right.
say so.
You said that she expressed a kindness, though. Does everybody view her as what would be like the actual view on her from other people? Does she
I think
actually
a lot of
have?
times she's very cold and distant and
Mhm.
very hard bargainer. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of like she's very much like a shark, right? Like
Right.
sometimes too much of a shark. So one time I saw her express kindness to this cat and I was like, "What? That doesn't make any sense to me."
Has your character heard tales of her doing acts of kindness aside from that?
No.
Never. Okay. Not
I
even among
was-
the other goblins.
I
huh?
was just running about the alleyways
Okay.
looking for trash cabbage and I don't know, like peeked around a corner and why is our queen out here?
Mm.
And why is she touching this cat? Was she petting this cat? Now you're making me question things, Frollo.
Are you sure that was the queen? If that's
Tall, pointy,
Sharp.
sharp, 7 feet.
I'm sure the General Zing Zang can attest to the fact that the Queen has several body doubles.
I don't know. I don't have that recorded in my fanzines about her having body doubles, but I just try to get as much information as possible, and it just
petted a
break my
cat!
heart if there's something I didn't know about it.
I saw
The
it.
Queen's security is strictly need to know, and you do not need to know.
But first, I think it was a kitten.
Kit.
Um,
I don't think I have anything.
I don't have any other questions to that. I
Mm-mm.
suppose. I think
Mm-mm.
There you go.
she showed kindness to a cat once,
And I
and that was
was
it.
disgusted.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disgusted are you? Is that like
I lost all appetite for my trash cabbage.
okay?
I put it down.
And it hasn't affected the way you feel about the queen at all, though, in general? Or do you?
I don't let her know I saw it happen.
Okay.
I still do what I do. But I mean, it was one cat, one time. I'll let
Okay.
it slide. But gross.
I think Glorp only loves the Queen because the Queen possesses Glorp's soul.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard as well.
Here's Rolo. Yeah, I heard that from the goblins too. Sorry. Oh, little blood. I've been up for like 3 nights putting together my last scene, but it's okay. It's all good.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
done with this question.
All right.
Unless somebody else has any questions for Glor.
I'll keep on going. The queen lights a fire in you. What is it?
You're her son.
Besides being her son. Yeah, that's the easy
Yeah,
putt.
don't be nasty.
A fire of what?
Yeah, I guess that's the other weird thing. I'm
Does
in
it
love with.
make you-
Oh, I guess it's this maternal, not.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
maternal love. Does it make you proud? Is that what?
But it
could
also
be
could be
interpreted?
like avarice, that or not even avarice, the thirst for power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that's why. I think exactly why. Of like, she is like, as we were saying, like an iron gauntlet ruler, and just seeing her hold sway over everyone, it just emboldens me and makes me want to be there as well. What else? Yeah, I think that's the number one reason. Just seeing this, the absolute, like, there's an absolute certainty to when she tells someone in the court what to do. There's like, are you sure, my queen? It's just like, that's it. And though we've been in war, so far we're not losing.
Mhm.
Who does the queen light literal fires in?
Heretics.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Heretics. I think. I'm pretty sure that one of the things she does is she takes prisoners of war and lights them aflame, and then returns their ashes to the enemy as a demoralizing thing, as a demoralizing tactic.
With like their charred armor and
I think it's not even like going graphic. I think it's because there's like there's an insignia or like a dog tag or something of that, some identifying thing that they would wear that is sent with the
Right.
ashes.
Maybe the fire is so hot and mixed with the sand or the black sands,
Oh,
it turns it into glass.
yes, exactly. It's not ash; they ship back cubes of glass. You're muted, Amber.
I'm not.
Okay, I thought I saw your mouth move. I didn't know if you're.
You were talking
Sometimes
to yourself.
I make things. I mouth things. I'm not sure if people have noticed this, but I do mouth things every once in a while. Wow.
terrible things.
Was it rude?
No, it was just a.
Yeah, she's not silent, but for me, like, even though I'm reserved, like, I don't know what my name is still. They wish to be like that.
You not hear me? Todd. Todd's your name.
No, my name's not Todd. I'm not going back to my family.
You got boat shoes.
Stuart Todd.
Todd might be the queen's son. Yeah, like,
All right. Any other questions for me?
Mm-mm.
What's your name?
Don't know yet.
Oh yeah, see, there's a really great suggestion from chat. You could just spell it T-A
Tall she.
apostrophe H-A-A-D.
Ha,
Todd.
Todd.
Tahad.
No.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds like a great suggestion.
Todd. Whenever, Josh, you get your character name. All our characters have names.
I know. Next time I'll have the name.
You could be the Quasimodo to my
You know, if the roles were reversed, you'd be ugly about it. You're like, name your character, Dave.
And then we'd be naming
Well,
after a
it's not
cheeseburger
Like,
box or
it's not
something.
good enough.
Yeah.
Name's Jack.
Your name is the Burger King.
Ah, you're the
Yeah.
Burger the Burger Prince.
That's what I
Your
wish
name is
to be.
Jack McDonald's.
Jack McDonald.
So we'd have like chili cheese fries sitting in front of us, and our name would be Chicha Fra.
I really want some fries right now.
Happy to help.
Yeah, I could
Cheese
go for
fries
some
for
chili
Glorb.
cheese fries.
All right. If no other questions, John.
Ron. Draw one card. Draw.
Umps.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh, the queen had you punished once. What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? Well, the punishment was when she removed my heart and replaced it with the heart of the sand. She ripped my living heart from my chest, and I watched my life bleed away when suddenly I caught my breath again and I could feel my blood moving, but it was my heart was no longer pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Question. So when she, I guess more of like, do you die at a point when she has to like come back to life, or she uses her power? Is like, is this a thing that has to go from person to person as they're pretty much consumed or killed?
Well, I would say we haven't found out yet because nobody's been able to get close enough to take my heart out. But so I don't know the answer to your question, but my scimitar would like to discuss it with you.
What?
Are you undead?
Depends on what you mean by undead.
His blood still pumps.
Well,
Does it?
yeah, not really.
Do you look like the Hound?
I could.
Can we see
I mean,
like anything about you? Like, what does your armor look like?
well, I mean, assuming that the Black Sands is um, a desert nomad based society, I probably don't really wear any armor.
Oh.
I have flowing blood red robes, as do all of her bodyguard.
So, what part of that whole like surgery operation is something that do you dream about it from time to time as a nightmare?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
What
I wake
part?
up and feel for the cold stone where my heart used to be to assure myself that I'm still alive.
Sort of.
Can I ask what you did that deserved punishment? Or is that something I can ask, or is it just if you want to pass on that, it's fine.
No, I think I let someone get too close to her. Perhaps an assassin, perhaps a consort, perhaps a greedy merchant. I just I failed in my duty to have them keep their distance.
Last round, you described yourself as having been the Queen's man-at-arms for longer than any of us can remember.
Right.
Well, yes.
Is that because you've served in this capacity for longer than a normal human lifespan?
It would seem to be that case, yes. That's what I envision, yes.
That's pretty cool.
I have no other questions.
And well, going back to your earlier question, Amber, I mean, I think if you were to catch a glimpse of me outside of my robes, I have horrific scars that have all been stitched back together and sort of healed. But I mean, it's I'm basically I've basically been put back together piece by piece.
He isn't so much the Hound as the Mountain.
Oh, that's what I meant. The mountain.
Yeah, maybe the mountain.
Oops, got them flip-flopped in my brains.
No, that's okay. I like the Hound better anyway.
The Hound is better.
Hound's a better character. Yeah.
The Hound's a way better character.
Oh yeah, agreed.
That's for a different talk and time.
I think I've answered this question. Unless anybody else has any other questions.
Nope.
No.
I thought the forever on there was very nice. It will stay with me forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good. All right, I draw a card. I put it out.
I got it. I got it for you, Dave.
Oh, thank you. You think of someone in this retinue as the Queen's favorite. Who and what makes you think this? Oh, that's good. That's a good question. It's obviously Frollo. Because everyone else has earned their spot in the retinue.
Mm-hmm. But here I am in sackcloth, right? Yeah.
Right.
In my
And like banana
slippers.
slippers, and
What is Glorp
possesses
done?
no combat prowess. Only draws silly pictures for a living. That clearly is not deserving of the honor of the Queen's retinue.
Well, if you don't have the artistic taste, I can see how you think they're silly. Or, I'm just here to spread the glory of the Queen.
Charlie Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
I'm thinking
yes.
wild hair Charlie Day, just like ah!
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia.
How does that?
Um,
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
sorry. Well, I was just I at one point I saw Frollo having a one-on-one audience with the Queen, which is not something that a commoner such as themselves should ever have the glory of our the of receiving as a gift.
Mm. How did that make Kathy feel?
Mhm.
It made Kathy burn with a blinding rage brighter than the sun in the wastes of the Black Sands. Not because Kathy deserves to be the Queen's favorite, but if there should be a favorite, it should be someone who, in her eyes, earned it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only has Frollo not earned it, but is exactly the opposite of a proud warrior that should be exalted within this kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I'm just an influencer. I'm trying to boost the Queen's numbers. Okay.
Frollo, what were you? Can you tell me more about the audience you had with the Queen and what that discussion was?
I'm passing on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping close.
I didn't know if you wanted to like
Oh.
role play it or anything, Brother John.
Yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that one. I'm
Okay.
not going to tell you about the juicy goss that's going in my zine with the Queen. The Queen.
You're just gonna tell everybody in Moxferry about it.
Yeah, if you
Black
want
Sands.
it, you could, if you want it, you can.
Well, no, because he
buy my zine
distributes
from
those
me.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
that propaganda
right,
to
right.
the.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if yeah, if you want to role play
Exactly.
That's up to you. We don't have to. There's still plenty of
No,
time.
that's fine. No problem.
I mean, would you even like stoop as low as to confront this man in sackcloth and banana slippers about this?
No, that's not really her role.
Yeah.
She is extremely haughty, and tends not to speak to commoners.
Do you subscribe to my zine?
No, Kathy can't read.
Oh, Kathy can't. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. I have no questions.
It doesn't. I don't have any questions either.
Wow, we're rolling through this thing.
There is
Yes.
still plenty more.
Okay, good.
I guess if the chat has questions, they can ask as well. I should point out.
Oh,
That's
they're,
true.
They're
Yeah,
playing the
get-
game
get 'em
too.
in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing too.
Yeah.
They didn't know it until right
Yeah.
now.
Sorry. I should have said at the beginning. Chat can
Yes.
do prompts as well.
Wow,
know-
an hour.
And they can identify themselves as part of the kingdom of the Black Sands.
Yeah, name
Queendom
yourselves.
of the
Behave
Black Sands.
exactly.
You have to have a name. Oh. Yeah.
It's not. I have a
First
name.
question
We'll
from
get there.
Volfmir is the first question from chat from Volfmir is why is Josh's PC name Todd?
It's not Todd. I have the name. I will let you know when it's my turn. I wrote it down.
I know it's my turn next, but can
Yes.
I make an emergency run real quick? I got to relieve myself really bad.
Via
okay.
bio break.
All right, we'll
Bio
swap
break.
between Amber and John.
It'll take me not even that long. Just
Turn. Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
Go.
You want to take a break right now?
I guess. Should we take the break right now?
I mean, we could just pause for just a minute and continue to talk about like the Queen's favorite brunch. That would be fine.
Queen's favorite brunch was what Glorp will always deliver to her. Consists of, well, let's see, what's going on in wartime? It's beans, toast, exactly 5 kippers, a soft-boiled egg, honey on the toast,
Got honey, huh?
a bowl of steel-cut oats, with one blueberry in the center. Don't ask why. It's what she asked for. And the blood of her enemies.
Oh, there we go. You're
There
losing
it
me
is.
until that part.
Yeah. Served in a tureen of blood.
Yes, all of it. So it's a very it's a very elaborate construction I have made just for her, where it is basically imagine like a Dutch oven, but like it's like a cauldron, but shallow, like only like maybe 2 fingers deep, and you fill it with the blood of her enemies, and then you float her food in it. And it's not so
Like
much float as it is just like you
It's
stick
like a
it.
brunch flotilla.
Yes. And she eats it all. I don't watch. She doesn't let anybody watch her eat.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's totally a thing.
Yeah. Don't look at her when she's eating. I mean, very rarely does she ever eat in front of anybody. She doesn't allow it.
Okay.
All right, Brother Josh.
Sorry about that. My turn.
Draw a card.
Draw a card. Oh, that's right. I'm holding on to it. Oh. What makes the queen beautiful in your eyes? Oh. Let me think. I don't know. There's something about the way her knees are so thin and bony. It's just really intrigues me. I don't know. You know, she's always there's something about the way she's constantly draped, and we can't really see what she looks like. Because this really intrigues me. It fascinates me. Not to mention the way she like talks in a very raspy and almost like weird, like ethereal voice that you know, it's like very enchanting. Let's see. She sounds like a grim reaper. And you know, just like the way she rules the empire, like what's not to love about the queen? Am I right? She's just amazing.
Is there a section in your zine called "The Queen's Knees"?
It's just like yeah, shots where it's like here we it's
artistic like renderings of acute angles is what that is.
Well, yeah, that's for like the top tier subscribers, you know, like the ones who
for her OnlyFans.
That's for the premium zine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
you don't get the acute angles unless you pay for them.
Yeah. Right. I see. How much money does your zine bring in?
Oh, like enough to like. I get enough, but it all goes to the queen. Mm-hmm. I don't keep any of it for myself. Like do you see what I'm dressed as? Does it look like I'm keeping any of the proceeds? Like it just.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat, my dude.
Like, no, General Zahid will tell you I dropped a bag of gold in front of her before. I was just like, here you go, queen. This is what I got from the zine. And, you know, and then, you know, it's.
Yeah, I think the
I left it with General Zahid. He threatened to kill me if I got too close.
Yes. You make me nervous. There was that one time you had a meeting with her by yourself. That just doesn't happen.
Kathy. Are you reading this zine?
No, it is beneath the Queen's needles to lower themselves with.
No, you gotta look at this. They've got recipes and everything in here too.
And so Kathy looks at it like in exactly the way that someone who can't read would read a book. Right. Not even necessarily upside down, just like oh, well, yeah, yep, that's what you said it was.
All right.
Question.
Yeah, shoot.
Is it a thing where everyone thinks it's more attractive and beautiful to not be to like leave it to one's imagination versus like seeing even like the wrist of the queen?
I think it's a I want to say, not in character. I think it's like a one, you don't know what she looks like underneath, and two, there's some kind of probably enchantment thing that she's got going on, kind of like a glamour kind of. So like for whatever reason, she's appealing, but maybe if it wore off, you'd realize she's just a skeleton wearing a robe. And it's like really creepy.
And
I don't know.
that
I don't know that. I'm just saying that
has
as
ever seen. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
I don't know that anybody has ever seen the queen's like wrist or flesh at all.
Yeah.
She looks pretty wrapped.
So part of the like attraction, I suppose, is like the shroud of mystery about her. And that's part of the attraction.
Maybe the queen is a mummy.
Maybe. It's
and that's kind of the
Wouldn't
story.
Make sense why she pet those cats. Mummies don't like cats.
That's true as well. And if she was a mummy, how would she have me?
All I'm going off is this picture we got. I mean, look at the angle of her knees. That's like a chisel point right there, man. That's like so narrow. That's kind of like, whoa. I don't know.
Think about it too much.
Yeah, I guess. Then again, you know, I'm the top fan in the fan club.
Can't argue.
Anyways,
yeah, your job is to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no other questions.
There's a page in the zine called Death Scream. She's just like us.
Also in my premium
drawings of
zine.
Death Scream.
Also, if you subscribe to my premium zine, you get a collection of fellow readers' fan fictions. It's amazing. It's good stuff.
Only, I mean, you know, approved fan fiction.
Oh, approved fan fiction, of course. We don't accept any libel, slander, saying bad things. Only good things. Only good things about the Queen. You know, one time, I'll pass on that. I'm not going to create too much lore for myself to keep track of.
Okay.
All right,
no
Amber?
one's keeping track of this lore. Draw one card. Oh no. It's fine.
You can always X or pass. I mean,
No, it's fine. What did you bring with you to protect the queen? Glorp. Glorp spent knowing that they were going to be going on this trip with a bunch of the goblins. Like, think of the goblin consort as like the gophers, you know, doing the tasks that nobody else really does, like taking all the refuse out, collecting plates, washing things, picking up after the horses' manure and that kind of stuff. That's really what the goblins in this group are doing. Yeah, but they're not all like, meaning, like, some of us have, you know, aspirations, and one of Glorp's is that he wants to be part of the guard one day to protect his queen, right? And he doesn't want to be doing this trash duty all the time. Why do they have the goblins always doing this? I'm just as tough as what's his face general over there. All he's wearing is robes. Check what I got on. And he's got this really ramshackle like set of armor that he's put together, made of like trash can lids and like stuff that he's found, like abandoned armor. Like when somebody dies, he'll take parts of their stuff off and try to craft it around him. And he's got like he was going through the trash and finding like implements he could sharpen down into weapons. So he's brought with himself a full, like, his armor that he has made for himself out of neglected or left behind pieces and parts of other people's armor and stuff. That's what he brought. And a bottle of whiskey.
Did Glarp show the queen? Oh, sorry, Glorp.
Glorp.
Right?
Like a slurp.
Yeah.
Like a slurp down hot dogs. That's where that came from. Anyway.
Does
my made-up word rhymes with this other made-up word?
Did they show the queen what they brought, or this thing?
You mean my I wear it around proudly. Look at me, queen. I got your back. I always have your back. I will always protect you, even if I'm look. It doubles as a pickup thing, you know. Look, and I'm picking up trash with the end of my sword and like putting it into my helmet. I can still do my duties, and I'm also prepared. I'm prepared for anything. Also, look, puts a hot dog on the end of it, starts cooking it over the fire. It can also be a hot dog cooker. Holy crap. Put it over here. I know you don't want to eat it, but that's fine. I'll eat it. See, I'm delicious. 100% cooked. No bacteria. Clean meat. She didn't respond to me at all.
I was wondering if she said anything.
She said nothing.
Oh man.
She's just like silent. Just imagine just like this black, like a ring wraith,
Mm-hmm.
like clad thing, just like watching this goblin do stuff. And then just looks away.
She looks at you, and you just hear like a hollow wind coming from her slowly, like like wind going through like a mountain pass, like like okay, yeah.
It was the beans for brunch.
Yes. Any questions for Glorp?
Got nothing. No.
Is metal scarce enough in the Black Sands that your armor would be more impressive than it would be otherwise?
I think so. I don't think Zahid, is that right? Is wearing basically just robes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the traditional stuff. And so me fashioning armor out of like scraps of metal, like our, I don't know, cans or
sardine cans.
Yes, exactly. Is like an inventive thing, I think.
So semi-impressive.
So semi, I would say, if you saw it in action, and like maybe I was like playing around where the queen's needles are, and an arrow like went wild, and all of a sudden you hear ting, and Glorp goes, "Watch what you're doing!" And they're all like, "How did he survive that?" That's right, tin cans.
Mm-hmm. When you put it that way, my sackcloth don't look that bad. Like I'm pretty good. I'm lifting it up down here in the slums.
You look good. You look great.
Amazing.
What's your name again?
It's Frollo, and I'm like, check out these cool shoes I made. They're
Holy crap!
I found more banana peels, so I fashioned them into like slippers. Like I tied them all together, and they're like the worst, ugliest pair of slippers you've ever seen in your life. But
look, I've been
by
reading
normal
your zine.
standards.
I've been reading your zine, and you should totally publish that.
Oh yeah, banana shoes, huh?
Yeah,
Banana
and then
slippers.
also can hats.
Like soup cans.
Doesn't sound so bad. Doesn't sound so bad. What did the queen feel about it? She approve? If she totally approved, that's gonna fly in my zine. No problem.
She didn't disapprove.
Did she look at you?
She looked at me.
That's good enough for me. That's approval. That's some approval right there. I write that down. Queen notices tin can hat. It's like,
oh man.
and I don't even have paper. I don't even have paper. I'm writing on my hand with charcoal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your zine is all carried around in your arm.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have like
The storyboard.
This cool tattoo on my arm, but no, it's just notes from my zine.
And you shout it out on a street corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
People subscribe by walking up and giving you coins.
Yeah, exactly.
Read all about it. Read all about it. The queens looked at the goblin's tin can hat.
My mind, basically, yes, Frollo is just like the perfect mindless follower for the queen. I love this guy.
Any other questions for? Okay, fine. Go. Oh.
I'm thinking. D, what did you got? Tin can thing. No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
it's Josh's turn, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway?
Well, it just f's up your.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're fucked, Todd.
No, so my name is
Todd.
My name is Non Morty.
Okay, Todd.
Non-Morty?
Sorry, say what is it again?
Non Morty.
No more tea.
No more tea.
Not Marty.
No, non morti.
No
The
more
queen is
tea,
not
got
my
it.
queen. Yeah. So I
Non
originally
Marty.
no non morti.
Non
more tea.
morty, like non mortal.
Like no more tea.
Exactly. Because so the queen is not my queen because I, I think during our wherever we're going, someone must have came to me and pretty much non morti is actually I forget what language means undead, and I have been, I guess, like this for as long as my memory can remember. Um, and I actually am someone else's creation with just these memories put into me. But
So you're like a golem.
kind of like a golem. I I'm yeah, I guess kind of
A
like an
homunculus?
It's like a I guess a flesh golem almost, but it's not like stitched together. It's like someone died, and then I
You're
came to existence
Frankenstein?
into this body.
You're not a
Just
Frankenstein, are you?
downloaded into this.
Right, and this somehow was able to. I don't know. I guess I don't know how the grow up part worked, but yeah, it's in the long run just downloaded into this dead person.
Okay.
Um,
It's kind of a Matilda thing.
yeah, kinda. Yeah, you put it that way. Yes, exactly. But not that origin. Why do I serve her anyways though? Because I want to assassinate her when everything's over with. So I want to make sure the war goes as planned, and then to do that, I must serve her to up to a certain point, and then make sure I guess my real master gets what they need. That's all in the DL.
So are you not her son?
I can't
I
believe
am.
it. She told you you're her son and she's going to keep her promise, but you want to betray her.
We don't know if she's gonna keep her promise.
Yeah,
or
we
not.
don't know yet.
She
She
said
never
though.
talks.
Oh,
She just
told
looks at
him.
you.
She told him.
So he says.
If you were loyal enough, you would know the queen's will.
I know it. I see her every day when I bring her giant tureen of blood food. Once, I think I saw her eat something.
That's quite
Once.
strange.
Have you ever seen your mom eat?
Have I seen my mother eat? Yes, I believe so.
What did it look like?
What did she eat? What's she like?
So she
Tell me all
just
about
took
it.
her veiled hand and picked up something on a plate, and it just went into her mouth veil, and it was gone.
Did she say yummy yummy in my tummy?
No, we eat in silence.
I've never delivered food to you.
I've been there before.
Wait, what's your name again?
Non, non-morti.
Do you change your hat often?
Well, of course, when you go and have, meals with the queen, you must change into different outfits. And when you go to serve,
How's anybody gonna know who you are if you keep changing your clothes constantly?
you have to look the part, and every part has a different look.
That's just confusing.
It's called fashion.
Tell me more about fashion.
Well, for breakfast, do you?
What do you wear to eat
Oh, it's
breakfast with your mom?
It's a very light veils. It's all mostly whites and light blues, maybe some light yellow around the face part that they motion with their kind of gaunt hand.
Rug, 1 second. What was the name of your zine again?
The Queen Zine.
Okay.
The queen's zine.
The queen's.
All right. This is all going in the Queen zine.
The,
Hot
hot,
scoop.
the hottest zine in the Black Sands. As a matter of fact, it's the only zine in the Black Sands.
All right. I'm sorry, everybody, that we have turned this into ridiculous.
No, it's fine. And so they talk about there's outfits for every single meal. There's an outfit for like when you're actually going into battle. There's an outfit when it's like just going to do playing with General Zahid. There's outfits for like.
What? I've got a question for you. Not
Yes?
Morty. What do you think of my outfit?
Functional.
Hell yes. Boom! Boom!
But
That's what I was going for. It
I-
doesn't fall off. Look, I can jump around.
But I don't know if you will be able to go anywhere in this.
I'm going places right now. Walks back and forth in the room.
Well, if I have my way, perhaps when I'm ruling, you will wear something a little bit more finer.
What's more fine than wearing some handcrafted by yourself? It's artisanal.
I sip my tea.
All right, whatever. I've got no more questions for this poser. Literally a poser.
Little did we know.
No one knows except for I don't know who.
You just told Glorb.
I didn't tell Glorb.
Glorb? Wait, that's me.
You said when I rule,
Right.
you'll wear something better.
Right. But they don't know the flip side.
Yeah, I know that he's the son, so eventually, but the queen will never die.
Queen will never die.
Any other questions? All right. John.
Drawing a
I
card.
would just like to say that Kathy takes contempt for all four of you.
Why?
All of you are awful.
Ooh.
There is someone else in this retinue you love besides the queen. How and why are you keeping it a secret? Huh.
I mean, of all of us right now, there's only one that I could ever see any sort of desirability.
I also just want to bring out, if you remember, we all have the ability to pass if we like to.
That's
so
true as well. You could pass this to someone else.
If you want to. I'm just reminding everybody.
Well, I think I love the queen's son with the unpronounceable name because he's Sir Heir. It's a platonic love.
It's a platonic love. Gotcha.
You know, it is
Love in the time of homunculi.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Because obviously he will serve when she grows tired of this realm.
Mm-hmm. And why are you keeping it a secret that you love him platonically? Like, why are you like cold towards him sometimes, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't let the fact that I'm influenced by the princeling affect my duties.
Okay.
But his little antics, they're sort of adorable.
And being like open about it would also make that a weakness, I suppose.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. And yep. Okay. Checks out with me. No questions. No more questions from me.
Do you secretly show any kind of affection to non-Morty?
Maybe the occasional glimpse of a smile on my scarred and cracked face. Just a hint.
Mm-hmm.
I find it disgusting when I see it standing in the shadows, holding my trash cabbage. I'm always holding a trash cabbage when I see something go down my hate.
This actually goes in the subsection of the zine when I'm in the shadows observing.
It's like two behind. Like I'm there holding my cabbage and watching, and then also Frollo is standing above me looking and watching. And I'm like, any more of these disgusting occurrences, I'm never gonna be able to eat a cabbage again. I throw it down on the ground.
I don't have any questions.
Kathy, you got anything?
No, did I answer everything?
I think you did, but Kathy is a floating head right now. It's floating frozen head.
I think you did. That's right. That's how I like it. I'm like a stagehand. It's great.
If no other questions, let's go on to Dave.
I don't think I have anything here.
All right.
I draw a card. And I put it out there. Oh.
to define some stuff, Dave.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I do.
You want to read that out loud?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You have a personal connection to the land you are currently traveling through. What makes you want to stay, and why don't you? So let's see here. I'm going to take a hot second here and pull up my Moxferry map.
Oh, so we're going straight through Moxferry?
Not necessarily, no. Okay, cool. On the southern edge of Moxferry, there are a couple residence districts, and kind of on the borderlands between Moxferry and the Black Sands. Those residence districts kind of trickle out into not quite suburbs, but scattered settlements that share a little of both cultures. And that's where Kathy's from. And those people are generally not well regarded. They hang on to too many traits from Black Sands culture to really be considered part of Moxferry. But because they are permanent settlements, they don't, they don't have those nomadic lives. They don't dress in the same way that people from the Black Sands do. They aren't really accepted there either. But that is where Kathy's from. She's left there when she was able to leave and join the army at an early age and became proficient in archery. But her left that settlement as a young woman. Let's see. I wonder what that settlement's called. I don't know. Someone will come up with a name. But she left that settlement as a young woman. And when she left her infant son. And as one of the caravans comes up north into Moxferry to trade, they pass through that settlement and stop to probably trade out. I bet that there's a place in that settlement, because they share both cultures. Instead of a stable, it's kind of a modified stable where on the one end you can trade in the camels from the Black Sands and pick up horses from Moxferry, and because the camels are not comfortable in the narrow cobblestone streets of Moxferry, so you bring the horses in, and then on the way out you switch them back, and this settlement is one of those places where that's possible. So the caravan stops to do that, and Kathy sees her son, who is now an adolescent, and he, even among this settlement of outcasts, he is an outcast among the outcasts. Growing up without a mother probably isn't terribly uncommon, but in the same way that Kathy was ostracized and left early, she can see those same traits in her son. And she knows in that instant that if she stayed, if she gave up her position, she could give him the stability and truly, in this scenario, wealth that would allow him to flourish and make something of himself, and they could have a very comfortable, happy life. But he doesn't recognize her because it's been too long. Like I say, he was just an infant when she left. And so she pauses for a minute and thinks about that, and then understands that what she would also sacrifice to give that to her son, giving up her position, her favor with the queen, the position in the retinue, the wealth, the status that comes with being one of the queen's needles. And she decides not to do it. She leaves her son in his awkward poverty and escorts the merchant caravan into Moxferry through the gate.
And the retinue, I guess, because we're supposed to be a retinue.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes,
that's fine.
Sorry. Yeah.
How does that make
Question
Kathy?
That.
Yeah, how does that make Kathy feel?
it is empty, is how that makes Kathy feel. She has made a very conscious decision in this moment to that the important things in her life are service to the queen and her material status versus the emotional wealth that would come with reconnecting with her son and starting that life over.
Dang.
Yeah.
There.
I feel like Dave is playing a different game than we are.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, you guys are like zines and blood trees. Woohoo! Yeah, I don't know. It'll end up somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. I like
It's
it.
like those crazy ass fiasco games that like we have 5 like drastically stupidly different characters and it all comes together. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Everything's going to work out just fine.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't have any questions. That was pretty
I
solid.
don't have any.
Yeah.
That was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to sully Kathy's story with my questions.
Yeah.
Was Kathy wearing a tin can on her head during any point of this?
No, she was wearing the golden robes of the Queen's Needles.
Mm.
And banana slippers.
Nope. Very fashionable.
That's strictly zine official
Yeah,
attire.
they're the sandals that strap up to the knees that are part of the official uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Brother John.
All right, it's time for Brother John to draw a card. Here we go. Party on. Let's rumble. Autobots roll out. And here it is. When did you...
What?
What? I'm sorry, but I am a Queen Stan, and I am passing on this.
All right. So this
So it goes up to the top of the order, doesn't
it goes to Amber. If Amber wishes
Yeah.
to answer or pass.
I think you're muted.
No, she's
No,
talking
I'm not
quietly.
muted.
Oh, sorry. I saw your mouth
Her
moving.
brain
and I
is
didn't hear
muted.
it.
Her mic is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can if you guys ever have any doubt or question, you can see that
I
there's
hovered
like
over
right
you,
now
yeah.
John has a little red mic out up by his name.
Fair
I
enough,
don't. So
Okay. Sorry.
I'm trying to you're fine. It always happens. I need to stop mouthing words apparently or starting to put my ideas and thoughts together before I actually start speaking.
Is it because of the cat?
No.
Cat incident.
Not because of the cat. Although very uncharacteristic of her. Even though now Frollo has put doubt into Glorp's mind about whether that was truly the queen or not. I could have had too many cabbages that night. You know what happens when they ferment.
They're fermented.
Yes. I'm trying to decide if it makes sense for my character. No, I think I'm gonna pass.
Crap.
I'm gonna pass it.
It's up to Josh now. You going to take this one?
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, Josh will come up with an answer on this bad boy.
Sorry, Dave.
Todd's got this. Right.
He
in
just
Todd's
passed it.
wheelhouse.
I mean, I guess we can exit.
Yeah, let's see if John has anything.
When did you know you would never forgive the queen and why? One second. Let me pause. Let me mute real quick.
Dogs.
Yelling at those dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs.
The
I-
mountain is fighting the hound.
Right behind me, apparently. Ha, 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 ha. Well, I mean, if I mean, maybe I'm not exactly happy about the fact that I've essentially given up my heart and my humanity to this goal. Doesn't mean I don't serve her, but I've, given up an awful lot to serve this queen. So that moment I knew I would never forgive her was the moment that she ripped the beating heart out of my chest.
What have you given up?
Well, any normal life.
Or
You know,
any
I don't.
chance at it?
Yeah, I don't have any loved ones. I don't have any family. I don't have any recreation. I live to serve.
What would you
I can't
Did
go
you have
far
those
from
things
her.
before?
Yeah.
Maybe I wanted to,
Hmm.
but I can't go far from her because she needs her power. So
All
I'm
I wanted
always
was to become a quarters player.
yes. I had a deep-seated desire to learn how to ski, and unfortunately, I can't go skiing.
There wasn't really much opportunity for the Black Sands, but yeah.
No, I would have had to take a vacation. I haven't had a vacation in hundreds of years.
Yeah. Dang.
Asian.
Is there any part of your humanity left?
Depends on who you would talk to, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of pieces that have been chipped off and cut away over the years.
Okay.
Can
I'm
you even
One
good.
that is most
remember?
loyal to the queen would be the first to betray her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've found that that over time your memories fade. So
God, I found that too.
you know, some people get addled when they're 60s, and I've had many 60s.
Right, right. Hmm.
So I
My
answered
God.
that question. Bam!
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I don't
Bam.
have any follow-up questions to that
Yep,
either. So
no.
I think I'm good.
Trying to
Nice.
find out who
Yeah,
takes it
that's
up
well done.
next.
Yeah, who does take it next?
Continuing answering, then passing, asking the question to the card. I don't know.
So we go to Amber next?
I would like to go next. That'd be
Sure, but let's
Oh, yeah.
take a break first.
nice. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got to deal with some dogs.
All right.
Okay.
How much time,
Yep.
John? 10 or 15 or?
Yeah, 15, if that's okay with everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Fine with me,
Fine with
man.
me.
See you on 15.
Okay, I'll be back.
Bye.
15.
And we're back.
back.
For
We're
the
back.
queen.
Glor
That
found
is-
some trash olives.
Nice.
Hmm.
Is that like in your tin hat or your armor? That you just didn't
Yeah.
realize it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was like pasted on the back of your trash can lid that you wear as a breastplate or whatever. I don't know.
It's like my bracers weren't even opened yet. What do you know? There's olives in here.
Oh my gosh.
Functional and delicious.
Welcome back to For the Queen. A lot has went on. We have Glorp, the goblin, Namorti, the undead something.
His name's Todd.
No, we got General Zahid. We got Kathy from the Queen's Needles. We got Frollo,
Mm-hmm.
a zine producer for the
He
Queen.
is a mean zine producer. Yeah. He for the Queen zine.
But we got plenty of this deck to go through because I had to take a peek. So let's get rolling. Who drew less? Brother John. So Amber, you get to draw.
Okay, let's see what I got. Boop, bop, bop. So good. This is so good. The queen sometimes shows interest in your personal life. How do you respond to that and why? So I think, well, I mean, I eat it up. Much like the olives I found in my gauntlets. I just gobble it all up. And the way that she expresses interest, I think, is what we saw, where she just like takes, like, why would she spend any time like with these trash collecting goblins? Essentially, they provide this service, but they're not, anything quote unquote special. That's generally, I think, people kind of look down on goblins, but I think she's really interested in, or at least I'm thinking that she is really interested in the crafting I'm doing, and she sees my ability. You know, that time when she stood and watched me for 5 minutes as I showed her like my armor was like a fantastic. And then like the days later, she spent walking through the our retinue or whatever, our camp as we're going through our caravan. She like again is watching Glorp doing like basically like you see like I could ask the general Zahid this. Do you like command groups? Do you do military training with people?
Oh yeah, I have
Yeah.
the elite.
So I'm behind the elite as they're doing like their morning drill routines, and I am copying and mimicking exactly how they're doing stuff, like exactly how they're doing stuff. And so she just stands and watches me, and I love it. It makes me feel special. It makes me think that I'm being recognized for what I'm truly worth, which is a lot more than how I am treated, quite frankly. So yes. Any questions for Galar?
Does she speak to you at all, or is it just all visual?
I like that she doesn't really ever talk to anybody unless she has something truly to convey,
Mm.
like a message, and very few people actually get to hear her speak.
Mm.
For me, I think a lot of the times it is just this nonverbal. Obviously, she like when she looks at you, you know she's looking at you. You can feel when she is looking at you. It kind of feels good, shivery. Ooh, she's looking at me. And I'm like, one day she's gonna talk to me. One day she's gonna put me in command of something. I know it. Yep.
Yeah. Anyone got any questions? More questions?
Yeah.
All right.
Would
this
Glorp
Oh, go ahead.
join the queen's like personal guard over being the head of the goblin servants?
I want her to one day tell me that I can train all of the goblins and that we will become a special brigade. No more horse poo for Glorp. These are olives that I'm eating, not horse poo.
Of course.
I was going to follow up with
No more horse poop for Glorp, as Glorp shoves something that looks suspiciously like horse poop in his mouth.
It's not. It's olives. We got them from a can. We already established this.
They're really big olives
Mhm.
and sort of stinky.
Road olives, I believe is the term.
Road olives.
What?
Brother John, you were getting ready to ask a question.
Yeah, after thinking about it, it's not that important or doesn't matter because we're
It might.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is it going to feed into like does that feed into the first card you drew, which is the rumors about you and the queen's relationship and how it causes jealousy? Does this kind of activity who makes the goblins jealous? Does that make them actually act out against you?
No, they suck up to me.
Okay.
I get things now. I get moldy bread.
Okay.
I get my chores taken over by others.
Whoa.
Things are looking up for Glorp, all because I put a can on my head and I didn't get shot in the head by an arrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Moving on up. Hey, moving on up.
All right. Could go next card. What do you do for the queen that no one else can do? I think that okay, what do you do for the queen that no one else can do? I think I can actually act as a channel for the queen. So I can go walk somewhere like, away from her and she can speak through me.
Okay, so you act like an avatar for her. That's what you're saying.
Almost,
in a
yeah.
way.
Is it because you're both undead?
That's my feel. Or if not, we're both undead, that she has some power. She can control the undead in some way for some reason.
Right, because you established earlier that you're made by someone else or
Right.
whatever. So like she's hacked into your network essentially and
Pretty
took over.
much.
She took administrative ability.
Right.
I changed
So
the
the queen knows you're undead.
Yes. She knows well, yeah, I would say she knows that I am undead. And I think before Namorti knew about themselves being undead, that he just assumed it was like, oh, because we're just family. That's just how family works. She's so powerful.
she got in your operating system and changed the sys key. Crap. uh,
Cool.
okay.
Does it sound like your voice when she talks through you? Or does it sound like a different voice?
I could see either way being interesting.
And is there any way for people to tell when it's her talking or you talking?
Exactly. So if it just sounds like me, then it's like, oh no, you have to trust this non-Morty actually saying that. Versus if his voice changes, then it's a lot easier.
I think you get like a 2-voice layer.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I like that too.
Have you ever done that for any other member, like in the presence of any other member of the retinue?
I think I've done it at least in front of General Zahid when we've had to go, while we're going on this whole journey that we've had to go to higher ups, and it's just like, all right, here comes Namorti and General Zahid, like very high up in the ranks of the Queen's military and all that stuff, and then I think they've definitely seen what has happened. Oh, exactly. I like chat saying my mouth just hangs open and doesn't sync up with the words being said as well.
Yeah, you turn to a gramophone or whatever.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So yes, I definitely think at least General Zahid. Like it's up to them to determine if they, tell others.
Okay.
Maybe General Zahid is ready to vouch for you no matter what.
That's right. You do have that secret love for him.
Mm-hmm. He's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
A little decay sometimes, but he's not that bad.
I don't decay. That's the weird thing.
He smells like what's that
Aldehyde.
Formaldehyde, yeah.
Formaldehyde. Yeah, that little hint of
Smell like a
formaldehyde.
turnip.
Although since we're in the Black Sands, maybe you smell like exotic spices and.
Okay. Yep.
I like that. All right. If no other questions, go ahead,
Like
John.
is non-Morty always overly perfumed?
I like the spices over the perfume. Oh.
How does the Queen remind you of her status while on the journey? Well, I think occasionally she needs to refresh her energy. So she summons me and pulls back some of her energy from the heart of the sands.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to stand there as my life force is sucked out along with the energy from the stone.
Okay.
A little bit more of my soul.
As she does this kind of stuff, does it make you weaker and weaker? Or like, does it have any, besides like you feeling your soul leaving you or what have you, does it have any other after effects that you just can't get over?
I lose a little bit more of my humanity and a little more memories of my life before this.
Okay.
So she snatches little bits of joy from my past.
Whew.
It's a good.
How does
Like,
that
How-
energy
how-
get replenished?
Mm.
What's her routine?
Like Dave's.
Like what? How often does this have to happen for her?
it depends on how much energy she's expended.
Okay.
Dave had a question of like, how does that energy get
Yeah.
replenished?
Yeah.
My energy, I think at some point I'm just going to become
Yeah.
a husk.
Mm.
So it doesn't get replenished.
For me, no,
Like
I don't
she
think
just
so.
takes a little more.
Right.
So it's a finite thing.
This is a roundabout way to be a vampire.
Well,
first I got-
maybe in hundreds of years from now, she'll have several people she's implanted these hearts in.
yeah, that's
We're just early enough in her reign that I am the only one right now.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Or maybe late enough in her reign.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just thinking that somewhere in the future we might find out that there's this caste of heartless warriors that worship the mysterious queen from the Black Sands.
Gotta write that down.
Maybe.
Look at him write it down. Look at him write it down.
Yeah.
I was like, Josh, take some notes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think I answered the question. Going once, going twice.
All right, Dave.
Queen knows something about. I'm sorry. The queen knows something about you that no one else does. What is it?
Ooh,
Yeah,
she's got the hot goss.
that's right.
Yeah. That's a good question. Hmm. I don't know.
You can pass if you wish.
You could- You can
I
pass.
I
if you
could
want.
pass, and I may end up doing that because I'm not like I think there's probably good stuff here. I just don't have it off the top of my head.
If I may suggest,
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah. Go ahead and suggest something. I'm
do you
open to
think
that.
she would know about that land we passed that was your homeland, or know about the fact that you had a son or something?
Oh, I'm sure she probably could know that pretty easily.
Okay.
Mhm. I'm not sure that holds.
Okay.
That's necessarily good gossip. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Because it's
mhm.
not really actionable because Kathy's already turned her back on that.
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But let's see. Pass. I'm
All
passing
right.
this.
Brother John is up next.
Give me a hot minute to think about this. Queen knows something about you that no one else
Yeah,
does.
see what I mean?
Mm. She knows. She knows that I pass my information or information that I gather and spread about my zines via cats. And she knows that I use them as messengers sometimes or whatever. So she knows about my network. She knows how my network works, and that's what she knows.
Oh boy.
And no one else knows this.
Yeah.
That's the key point. No one else knows this. And that's I really like this because I like how it's like, oh, Glorp was like, I can't believe she was next to this cat or whatever. And it's like, oh,
Disgusting.
maybe it was one of my cats that was
Right.
delivering a message or whatever.
Does this network go across the continent?
No, because cats are untrustworthy to be that far away. Like I just have it like, or maybe I use the cats as kind of like, maybe that's what my. So one of the things is like, as a zine person and as this person who knows some information about the queen that nobody really should,
Mm-hmm.
is I have like this uncanny ability to gather information, and I think one of my ways to do it is using cats to eavesdrop, like shared sense, like
Mm-hmm.
a druid
Mm-hmm.
ability. Like, doesn't know how he got it, but he can hear whatever some cats can hear, select cats.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how he gets information about that kind of stuff. And maybe even, as I said, going back to the other thing, maybe write some stuff and has cats move it here, thereabouts. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a low key thing though.
Right.
And I think she's just very aware that cats are one of my main way of like doing that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, so it's kind of like, I know what you're doing, crazy sackcloth banana shoe man. I see you. I see you and your little tricks. Haha.
Has she ever confronted you or anything of the like?
Oh, yeah, actually, well, not regarding the cats per se. She was very interested in my ability
Mm-hmm.
to use these cats to do this thing. Of course, she didn't say it to me directly. She kind of just stared into my face and like, like it was like looking into the void, and the
Mm-hmm.
void looked back at me or whatever, and it was really creepy. But essentially, you know, it, this one time I heard some fan fiction about the queen, and I was going to get it published into my zine. And it was like this really weird fan fiction about how, her General Zahid, how she did something to him, put a thing in his chest or whatever. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that. She wanted me to take that out of my zine. And, so, I don't know what she was so upset about, but she confronted me about a few things here and there, and I did what she said. So we're totally cool. I, I really want to set this character up as he's such a loyal idiot
Mm-hmm.
that he's useful because he can gather information and she can control information through it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
Has
if
the
she
queen ever
confronted,
tried to leverage that knowledge to get you to do something you didn't want to do?
not that I didn't want to do, like she wanted the names of the people who wrote that fan fiction. I gave it to her, and I don't know what happened to those people, but they're gone.
Absolutely. Any other questions? If not, is it cool if we go back to Dave? See, okay. So go ahead and draw another card, Dave. I don't think the game's exactly supposed to work that way, but just to try to give everyone options to keep on inputting equally.
No,
because I think it's supposed to go, if like his brother John answered, it's supposed to go to then Amber, and I think after the other pass was supposed to just keep on going. But we're gonna do it this way to give everyone more opportunity to.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a part of you that does not want peace in this land. Why are you attached to the war? All right. Well, obviously, Kathy has earned her place in this world through warfare, and she has risen up through the ranks of the Silver Needles through her prowess with the bow and through this war. And so if suddenly tomorrow peace was declared, there's no more use for such a large contingent of archers, and Kathy wouldn't have the place in the retinue and with near the queen that she does now.
Does that? So, is Kathy scared then of the war ending?
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to say it. It's like being a contractor and the work's drying up, and so you milk it as long as you can.
Business is good as long as the war is going on.
Military industrial complex. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if she has gone as far as to, for example, leave enough of an opposing regiment to rebuild, so to
Mhm.
speak. Instead of killing them all, she leaves enough that sure, in a couple weeks we get to do this again.
Say is this what you're doing now? Is Kathy all that Kathy has ever done her entire life?
She had a baby once.
Well,
No, but
But
really, yeah, she
like
she
as
left home
occupation.
and joined the military, and this, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, and there would probably be work like guarding against your random bandits and things, but like only a fraction of the forces needed, and quite frankly, that's a waste of her talent.
mm-hmm. Wow. I have no other questions.
Oh,
All
none for
right.
me either.
Go ahead, Amber.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Whose turn?
Amber.
Oh, me. Oh boy. Let's see what Glorp has. Glorp, your beautiful fuel. Why do you think the queen trusts you enough to bring you on this journey? I have never let her down, not once. You get that? I get that. She looks that way, I look that way. She looks up, I look up. She looks down, I look down. I'm always there. I'm always near. I've executed every task excellently, 100% accurately, and on top of that, I have a side hustle. Making armor now.
What was something the queen had you do that made you feel uncomfortable?
Touch a cat? No. Uncomfortable?
Like, if you're always like the yes man, what is one of the things that, like, Glorp was like paused, long pause, and I was like, all right.
Dude, there's not
Like,
much.
like it was almost like a test of your loyalty.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You have to do something terrible to prove to the queen that you are loyal.
I mean, if she was like, cut off your finger, I cut off my finger. It's gone. I have one finger. No, I don't. I have all of my fingers except for one. It's my ring finger on my left hand.
Mm.
Let's see. It makes me make Glort pause. Man, I don't honestly think there's anything
That's fine.
Glorp would do what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Unless she's like she made me want take off my tin can hat one time, but she's never asked that of me.
Does the queen ask you to try her food before she eats it?
I mean, no. That's for other goblins to do, and they line up behind me to do it because they're willing and they listen to me because I'm the queen's favorite goblin. I don't. I'm trying to think. This is Glorp like really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like really thinking about it. I mean, even the trash that we throw away, we end up rooting through anyway, so it doesn't really matter. She pretty much leaves us to our own devices.
Amazing.
I didn't really like combing the horse's hair one time. I didn't like it. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite, but now, Shemp does it.
Shemp.
Yes.
So, what does the queen want you to accomplish on this journey for her? What is she trusting you to do?
I mean, like I said, it's like basically, I think we're kind of this horde of goblins. Like I said, we have all these duties that we perform specifically to keep you guys need your food served to you, like all the troops need that,
like logistics.
Yeah, we just execute on making sure stuff is like the tents need to be get down and wrapped up. We need to do XYZ. I mean, maybe sometimes I've seen a goblin or two, like she takes them away and then we don't see them again. That's kind of suspicious, but we really don't talk about it.
Um, how many goblins do we? Or
Oh,
talk about on
there's
the
like
journey.
200 to start with.
We're talking about on the journey to the to broker an alliance thing.
Whatever we're journeying for. I mean, I'm thinking that we're traveling
Okay.
not just with the five of
Yeah,
us.
I
It's
yeah.
like a whole consort of people, a caravan of sorts. I'm thinking there was probably like at least, there's what, however many in your guys' group, like Kathy's group and Zahid's group, and whatever minions you have running the printing press for your zine, there's goblins who take care of stuff. So there's got to have been like 25 to 30 goblins doing
Well,
things.
the only reason why I bring that up is because in the thing it just says the what was it? The queen has chosen all of you and only you guys to be in her thing. So I didn't know how many
We're
people
the
we had with us.
closest.
Yeah.
We're the closest to her.
Right.
But I was
Right.
seeing it as a caravan of sorts.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I agree.
So yeah, she brought us as
Why does
make sure to
Glorp
take care of
think?
everything.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Good.
Why does Glorp think that the queen has chosen them as the most favored goblin?
She's the only one who like looks at, like, she doesn't ever look at other goblins except for, like, when I talk about the goblins that go missing, whatever they're being used for, which, by the way, I haven't gone away yet. That's something. But basically is the one she, like I said, watches Glorp, is like, he doesn't know it, but she's like fascinated by Glorp. Um, I don't know what she's doing. This is Amber talking. I don't know what she's doing with the other goblins
Yeah.
that she's taking every once in a while, but
Maybe still find out.
Glorp seems to have won all of the hearts of the other goblins, and so they kind of listen to him. And so if I'm being told by somebody else to divvy out tasks and stuff and she asks, they do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she understands the goblin like psychology and knows that if one goblin gets favored, all get jealous and will try to vie for positions and do things and go over and
Mm-hmm.
that could be it. Speculation.
Any questions?
Glorp out.
Glorp out. Here we go. You are considered beautiful by almost everyone you meet. How does the queen make you question that perception?
You are my son, but you are also ugly. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
You are worthless.
I think she I think it's because she says they only think you're beautiful because you're the ones in true power or in the know, i.e. the retinue at least. Uh, they only think you're beautiful because you're my son. And
do you think you're beautiful?
Until recently, absolutely.
Okay.
I think they still think they're beautiful, but there is.
What do you think is their most beautiful feature? Or before this?
My knees. No.
Your knees. Is it perhaps the way that you have finely stitched joints here and there?
It's
They
not
just like the
stitched.
stitch or whatever? I don't know. Your flesh goblin golem. I don't know.
Your knees are so very sharp.
Exactly.
Everyone in the Black Sands, their quality of appearance is based on their knees.
Yeah, and I think that's like part of it. Is like even the people that don't know that, like they're not their son or perceived son, is just like, oh, the queen really cares about you, and that's why they just continue to think they're beautiful because it's almost like an extension. If like, you're really really close to the queen, people will treat you completely differently, almost like when they say certain things that they're saying it to the queen through you through association, if that makes sense. And so
Yeah. Because you're hanging with the popular kids, then you're popular.
right.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond just popular. I think in this society or what have you, it's multiple character, like multiple facets, and one of them being like even perception of beauty, even though that could be, it's a very very different thing versus like a societal thing that's like more of a physical thing, but still like, or it could be a physical thing, not necessarily, but it's quite different than other societies of like multiple traits are applied to the closest knit of the queen. Any questions?
No,
It's kind of
I don't at least.
let's kind of hammer these out. It seems. All right then. John.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Draw. Oh no.
Oh,
You arranged for the queen to be ambushed on this journey. What did they offer you?
What?
I
Not my
knew he was
queen.
going to betray her. I knew it.
you
You
wanna pass,
never
you can
forgave
pass.
the queen for taking your heart.
I'm thinking, and this is not a formal answer, but I am thinking that I did arrange for an ambush, but it is by a force that I am confident we can easily defeat, so that the queen will think that we'll see our prowess in battle and be pleased that we have defended her. So what did they offer me? Whatever they offered me, it is immaterial to me, because what I really want out of it is the defeating them in battle. Now the question to me is whether I have misjudged the schmucks that I have selected to attack us.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I don't know yet.
Well, they're just saying.
Is it possible that instead of what they offered you was an easy defeat, and what you gave them was either gunpowder, gold, whatever?
I think I would have recruited someone who really thought that they were going to win,
Okay.
but someone that I have assessed that we could defeat. But this hasn't happened yet, right? I'm assuming that we have not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten to the point where we've been ambushed.
I guess
So,
like, what did they offer you? If like, it seems like they maybe were going to, like, at least reading this, it's like they offered you something to pretty much get them into position that they could do so as well. So like, who did? I don't know. Maybe that's not how.
well, they could have offered me money. They could have offered me, a position in the new army or whatever. But I didn't really pay attention to any of that. I just look forward to the opportunity to.
What would have happened if they offered you mortality?
I don't think they can give it to me.
Well, it depends on who it was. Like,
That's true.
And they could be like, oh, I know a
Some of
guy
those
who knows a
factions could
guy
do
who
it.
knows a guy. Like it could have been whatever.
The Crystal Hammer could do it because we've seen him do things like that.
yeah, like that's a
Advisory
great
stuff.
question. Of like, who approached you?
Well, it would have to be a faction that I felt comfortable that we could defeat as the Queen's forces.
The farmers.
Yes, it was those druids. Where the hell did they go? The Farmers' Allegiance.
Oh, well, we are shortage of food. Maybe they're really mad for whatever reason because they can't farm properly, and they're just like, we want to ambush the queen.
Well, I mean, let's. What if we run with that? The Farmers' Allegiance.
Okay.
They've been suppressed for so long that they want to get the queen out of the way so that they could grow the crops and feed the people, and they're generally a good organization that wants to feed people, and so they're the ones
And
who.
it could. Sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
It could be that the druids believe, either correctly or incorrectly, that the queen is making the Black Sands into a desert.
Oh yeah,
Maybe the
absolutely.
druids
Yeah,
believe that without the queen, it would
Mhm.
flourish and become a fertile land.
yeah. I think they're a good faction, and I just see them as weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I have arranged. I've given them the path on our journey, and yeah, they may have offered me, oh, we have these druidic abilities, we can restore, blah blah blah. And I'm like, sure you can.
Just an opportunity for you to weed out and destroy some traders or
Right.
Yeah.
But again, the question is, did I miscalculate? And
Right.
I think we have to play to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound legit to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dave. Oh,
Ooh, interesting.
oh. Read it out loud for the class.
Who is this distant power you are traveling to, and why do they make you uneasy? Well, let's see here. I mean, we are. Let me. So it. I think maybe that we are. Well, are we going into Mox Ferry? Is that established?
No, nothing was established. We could be going anywhere.
Yeah.
We just at some point passed by Mox
Um,
Ferry. It
I'm-
doesn't even have to go into Mox Ferry. You can go wherever you want.
I mean, we could be going to the Wild Woods to meet the druids.
Mm.
Or we could be meeting in Mox Ferry as kind of a neutral party, and Mox Ferry is big enough that it could, at least Mox Ferry feels like they could put down both of us if we start to beef.
Mm. So it sounds like we're going to Mox Ferry.
Yes,
Who is the distant?
I think that's the better fiction there.
Okay.
The druids from the Farmers of Legions from the Wild Woods. I mean, they are a Mox Ferry faction, but I think they probably at least have alliances with the Wild Woods, right? And we are coming from the Black Sands, and we're meeting in Mox Ferry to try to work out an allegiance or a truce.
So are we
Does that-
meeting with the
Does
representatives?
that step on your
No, it's
idea of an
fine.
ambush, John?
Oh, John. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because
Because I mean, I guess it's not an ambush if we're meeting them.
No, it's fine.
I mean,
There's
if you
plenty
Well, they
of-
could. I mean, they know where we're going to be and where we're supposed to meet them, but maybe they also know the path we're going to take and could ambush us along the way.
Mhm.
here's my idea of like
Okay.
why would we going to the Wild Woods if it's a druid circle? Maybe there's like a high order of druids that has something that our queen wants, and she's trying to make trades with a trade. There's supposed to be a deal going down, essentially.
Right, to help with a war. We're not necessarily
Yeah.
in war with who we're going to meet with.
Oh, and maybe it's not even for the war. Maybe it's just for her. We don't know. We think it's going to help the war.
Right.
Sure, it's going to help the war.
Okay, and so we are trying to work out an allegiance with the Wild Woods.
Okay.
And we are meeting in Mox Ferry as a neutral site to engage in these negotiations.
Mhm.
But the Wild Woods are closely aligned with the Farmers' Allegiance, and the druids in the Wild Woods have arranged for the druids of the Farmer's Allegiance to ambush us before we get to the meeting spot.
Yeah, is that the reason why you're uneasy, or why? I guess, and why do they make you uneasy? I guess maybe is this about the Wild Woods that makes you? Is the prompt question on this? I'm not quite sure.
I think Kathy knows about Zahid's plan. And she probably overheard Zahid talking to it, sh- yes, she was out for a morning, calisthenics or whatever, and like Zahid was over talking to like just this random rock. And so Kathy kind of crouched down, used some of her training, and got closer. Turned out Zahid was talking to a lizard, and the lizard was, a druid had cast a spell to be able to, send a message through the lizard. And
Just like my
Zahid,
cats.
she overheard Zahid talking about this, like, yeah, sure, if you wanted to ambush us, the such and such place would be a good spot, and blah 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 blah. And Kathy overheard enough of that conversation to understand that the retinue is going to be ambushed, and that makes her very uneasy because she doesn't understand Zahid's plan at all. As far as she is concerned, Zahid is a straight up traitor.
That is also possible.
Amazing.
It might be right.
If you ambush us by the big rock, that would be a good place.
Mm-hmm. Which it could be that is actually a very advantageous place, and I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, Brother John.
So I'm trying to think of a question.
Oh, you can. I didn't know.
Did you so you think he's a traitor? Do you just keep your eye on Zahid then? Are you like high suspicion of Zahid from now on, or?
Yeah, like very closely watching Zahid. Kathy won't really let Zahid get very far out of her sight, but Kathy has seen over the years that the Queen enforces a very strict no snitching policy, and so
Oh, I know all about that. Yeah.
turns out Zahid is, yeah, right. And so if it turns out Zahid is not a traitor,
Mhm.
and that she misheard or misinterpreted what she heard, there would be very severe consequences for Kathy. So she's not going to say anything, but rather she's just going to keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
That was my question. So my turn then?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Oh shoot! Did I draw too many cards?
Looks like it. Let's see.
Oh,
Is it doesn't?
I have 2 cards out there, don't
two
I?
cards. Yep.
No. I'm. So yeah, I'll just stick with the one that I have out here. I'm
This
sorry, I
one?
didn't mean to draw 2. Yeah.
What brings this one? I'll just
Flip that card. Flip it. I don't want to see that one.
I'm just going to.
What brings out the Queen's cruelty? Oh boy. I didn't even see what the other card
It's fine.
said. I was just like, I just want this one. What brings out the Queen's cruelty? Let me think. Ooh, what juicy goss does Frollo have about the Queen? Oh man, you know what she really really hates? Seeing children play on the street. She just hates seeing children being happy. It really gets she really gets her fist shaken when she sees those kids out on her front lawn.
I mean, that makes sense with what Zahid did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what he did. She just really hates kids in general. She's just
Mirth, happiness. Is that what her problem is, or the innocence of children?
it's just kids
Hmm.
because they run around everywhere. Their noses are constantly dribbling, and you know how kids
Yeah,
are. Kids
that's a thing. Yeah,
kids
it's
are
gross.
kids are like worse than goblins to her. She doesn't, she just really hates seeing them kids.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, he did a favor for those kids by doing that because he scared them away from the queen's true rage or whatever. I don't know. Like she's like super creepy and imposing in her normal state, right? You see her when she sees a kid run across the street, she starts to be like, those kids. Ah.
I did put
It doesn't
a
sound
good
like
beat
her
down
at
on them.
all.
Yeah, more like a Ray form is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know
but,
she like
but
she like break.
why?
I
Why
don't.
children? Why does
I,
this make her cruel?
Yeah, that's a good
oh, why
question.
does it make her cruel?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it
I
says
don't know.
what brings out the queen's cruelty.
But I'm allowed to
But-
interpret it however I want to, and I don't have to
Sure.
take it quite literally.
Okay. Jeez.
I just think she just gets really upset around kids because kids bother her.
Mm.
They just bother her, you know?
Yeah, it's like after you have kids and you have single friends and like you just don't see them anymore, you know? Like
Yeah.
they just don't like the kids. Right, Josh?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So I'm not taking it literally as her bringing it out. Like, it just like, if there's anything that makes her break character, it's just seeing it, being around kids or like, because they run around, break stuff, whatever. And she doesn't like it. Not one bit.
I mean, if I think if we're going for a queen who is very much like death, children are full of life.
Yeah.
That could be another interpretation.
I suppose.
And it could be that kid, like small children, are almost immune to her intimidation.
Mm.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. They have such an abundance of joy that she can't steal it from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She the Grinch.
And like adults will like cower in her presence, but like kids will just run around and make faces behind her back, and she can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can't handle being bullied by the children. Okay.
Amazing.
Oof.
Anything else, Amber? You can draw or flip.
I'm gonna draw. I saw that, and I don't want to.
Right,
I don't want it.
Take this card away.
Yeah, sorry about that. I tried, instead of right clicking and doing the draw card, is just like drag it out. I was like, okay, and then I did it twice by accident. I was like, crap.
What part of this journey will be the most difficult? How do you pull the rest of the retinue through it? So we're going into the wild woods, and we are going to be going into an area where a lot of us aren't used to traveling through terrain. And through like tangles and undergrowth and bush, right? We're all used to the sand, right? So I think that's going to be really difficult, is overcoming the obstacle of moving our caravan through this undergrowth bush. So how do I pull the rest of the retinue through it, through my interpretation of the terrain being bad? Goblin lawnmower. I train goblins. We get into a formation and we go whirly, 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 whirly with swords. But I have to first get permission from the general Kahid, or is that right? Kahid?
Zahid.
Zahid. Getting names all garbled. Zahid, we need swords. The goblins need swords. You got swords. We're gonna get us through this terrain, but you gotta give us swords.
I suspect we have warehouses full of swords, armories full of weapons.
Turn my head, and there's one horse that has all these weapons on it.
You seem to have come prepared.
All right. Thank you for your permission, sir. I salute, and then I go get these swords, and I train goblins how to wield them, and we go through like a lawnmower. And he's like, I shall call this something great. Goblin. Oh, guys, I need help with this. Goblin. And I think like several different goblins are all trying to like raise their hand and like coming up with ideas. They're like, we're leaf and vine cutters. And I'm like, no, that's too long. That's way too long of a name. Oh, what should we call this formation?
Leaf and vine and undergrowth grutters.
That's the same name. I've already said that name.
Chop, chop, chop.
The goblin
Chop,
machete.
Ooh, chop,
just
chop.
Chop chop.
Thank you.
That's
Chop,
nice.
chop.
Yeah.
All right, formation, chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop formation.
You, sir, get to bring me my bread tonight.
Okay. he just says chop, chop.
Chop.
It's all he can say is chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
Oh yeah.
Great idea. Chop, 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 chop. That's even his name. Chop, chop.
I feel like this card was hoping for something
Oh yeah.
like truly like, oh, the mental toil
Yeah.
of. I'm like, nah, vines.
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
Yeah, I could definitely
Operation chop, chop.
seen that card go a completely different way, but that's okay. Any questions, or shall we move?
Nobody ever has questions for Glorp.
Not for chop, chop. Here we go.
That chop chop was explained very well.
Yeah.
When was the last time the queen hurt you? Fuck.
Oh. Yeah.
She hurt your
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, she already did that. Yeah, I think it's definitely hurt my feelings kind of deal. I think along this journey, she confronts me during one of our silent breakfasts. And she lets me know that she knows that I am not her son. And that she knows that I have you could say learned where I really came from, or where my real allegiance should be.
She
Go ahead.
knows you know that I know that you know
Exactly.
the mind games. I get it.
And I pause, like kind of cough up whatever food I have. I try to answer back like, no, that's like, and as I'm saying no, it's a lie, I just freeze. I just become, I cannot move at all. And she says, if you lift, or pretty much she gets to the point of like, if you lift one finger against me, I can do much worse than what I'm doing to you now. I think that's how she hurt me, if that makes sense.
Does the queen make you say those words to yourself?
Oh yeah, that'd be real fucked up. Yes.
Yeah, it sure would.
Yes. Absolutely. That's so fucked. Yes.
Well, I was gonna say like, what could she do that's worse than what's going on now? Because you're basically having family breakfasts with her and stuff. I'm like, what's she gonna do? Just say like, what's the worst do you think that your character imagines?
Right. I think it's like, I think Namorti has come to the realization of like, oh, they're like, when you die, you go somewhere else, or there's another plane or whatever. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Especially if I've come from like, I've inhabited this body now. Like I've came from somewhere, and I think Namorti thinks now of like, oh, she's going to kill me, but she's going to just like also completely obliterate what I am inside this vessel, like the thing that inhabits this vessel.
Okay.
I would say that what is worse than family breakfast is continental breakfast.
That too. Yep.
Toast and some oranges.
Oh, from the chat, what does your character see when they are possessed in this way? Oh, I think they see beyond the veil of the queen when this happens. And I don't know if you all want me. I think it's something that's horrifying to them.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to
Like,
like.
she's like, I've already described her as being like almost glamored, so I don't care what she really looks like. She's fine the way I see her. If she's
Right.
a horrible Cthulhu monster underneath, that's none of my business.
Absolutely. Chess. Like I'm imagining your eyes glazing and you see something. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
Yeah.
beyond the veil, and it just beyond getting that sense of like, oh, she could just obliterate what I am that's inside this vessel. It's just more like seeing her just just. I think it hurts Non-Morty in a way of like they are never confident again.
Okay.
Does that change Non-Morty's plan?
Oh yeah, they don't know
Or,
what the fuck they're
or,
going to do now.
or do they think they're still going to go through with it?
They know they will have to come to a point where it's go time, and they have no idea what the hell they're going to do now.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
All right. If there's no other questions, Brother John.
Brother John?
I think it's me, John.
I mean, no,
It's
John.
John.
Yeah.
Oh,
John. Draw one card.
Chop, chop.
Chop chop.
Oh, you saw the queen do something terrible to keep the retinue safe. What was it? Did you come to respect her more or less afterwards? Well, maybe I saw the what she told her would-be son. I mean, because I'm always not far from the queen, and I think that did I respected her less because obviously I have some fondness for this kid thing.
Did you see beyond her veil, or like what did Zahid kind of observe or see throughout all of it? Like, did they just see them kind of just facing each other, or was it in like that weird projection out of his mouth, or was there more that he saw?
Yeah, well, I saw that she made you say those words, and yeah, I think that again, that greatly made me respect her less. Now, how that keeps the retinue safe, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Well, does that? I mean, I guess Non-Morty's plot to assassinate the queen would have endangered our retinue.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But does that loss of respect for the queen maybe change your thoughts about this ambush?
Oh, maybe, yeah. When it comes, maybe we don't fight so hard because, if she can't trust her own quote unquote son, who's really safe?
I mean, it is, yeah, I was going to say maybe Zahid's thinking that maybe Non-Morty would make a better ruler than the queen.
No, that would be it would certainly have to change his stone cold heart, but it's possible. It's maybe the first crack that in me seeing that the queen is not everything I've made her out to be.
What happens to the queen after she dismisses Non-Morty after that scene?
I don't have a good answer to that.
They finish up breakfast.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, she could just finish breakfast like nothing happened.
It's like a really horrible parenthood, just like I know you don't, I know you know, and then they just continue finishing up their cold cereal. Like, okay.
And she scoots Non-Morty's plate over to hers and like scrapes it on there.
Oatmeal.
I'll finish this for you.
Finish this or you eat, or no more. Finish this or you go hungry you don't get lunch or whatever. I don't know.
Those goblins worked hard on that blood bacon.
Yeah,
we don't get this every morning.
It's with our blood.
Extra tasty.
It's like
Goblin bud tastes like rutabagas.
yeah.
Well, I think I answered this. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any other questions?
No. All right.
Kicking on down the
Kick it
line.
on. Go ahead, Dave.
On down the line.
All right. Your friend Dave, gonna draw a card. Draw it, put it in my hand, pull it out, put it on the deck.
What do you usually do? Why does it?
What do you usually do for the royal family? Why does that make you an unlikely choice for this journey? That's interesting. Um, well, usually the Queen's Needles are warriors and they are out on the front lines of the war. And this is a diplomatic mission. And the more Kathy thinks about it, it is kind of weird that you would pull your elite warriors off of the battlefront and like have them like as a show of force at a meeting that should not nobody's bringing their weapons because it's a diplomatic thing. You should come unarmed or at least with just a light security force in order to like ease into these negotiations. When you show up with an armed force of archers, it is kind of weird considering that the war was going well, and we could have stayed out on the battlefront and probably continued our victories, but we pulled off of there. I haven't heard much from the front lines past that, but maybe it's not going well.
Does yeah, I guess kind of going along that line of like maybe it's not going well. Does Catherine know exactly how the war is going right now? Like, does she, even though she feels like, does she perhaps have concrete evidence of how it's really going?
No, probably not. Um, because it's one of those things that um, it's one of those things that like the news that gets brought to the Queen is invariably good news. And so Kathy really doesn't trust what the Queen's being told. But because she's part of the retinue, she really hasn't found a chance to pull a messenger aside and try to get a more truthful answer. Especially in that near to the Queen, no one would contradict what the Queen was actually told. Maybe on the around a campfire with only soldiers, you could get a good answer. But here, so close to the royal court, no one's going to contradict what the Queen was told. But she has reason to suspect that maybe the war isn't going well. Just because, with her whole adult life being trained at this, she understands, forces and how, you deploy forces on a battlefield to your advantage, and knowing the forces that were pulled off of the battlefield for this retinue, or for this journey, that it's unlikely that the troops from the Black Sands could press their advantage in a way that they would have otherwise.
So could it almost be interpreted of like she is bringing you along, pretty much some of the best warriors, and with General Sahid, to be like, I need this protection for if things just go completely south. If we were in the Black Sands,
Maybe. Kathy wouldn't ask a question like that. But it is, yeah, we are either here for as a force of intimidation or a personal protection force,
mm-hmm.
and we are equipped for either. But those are the only two logical conclusions that Kathy could come to.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anyone got any other questions? All right, Brother John.
All right, just one card this time.
Just one card.
Just one. Where we go? It's right here. Oh, when did I know I was in love with the Queen? What a perfect card for me.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, I don't know. There was one day where,
This feels like it's a column in the zine.
Yeah.
Actually, I think this is we'll kind of see. I actually want to kind of like out of character describe what happened to him. I think he was a druid before all this, before he became like the top fan, and he became subject to her brainwashing of sorts, and has essentially turned this druid into like a clown for her amusement. But to him, he perceives it as, oh, I love her, man. She's great. She's great. She lets me wear these banana shoes. She lets me wear these banana slippers and blah blah blah. And I get to talk to cats and I get to tell her about all the juicy secrets. I also make this cool fanzine. But yeah, like the day he was captured and turned was the day he fell in love with her. And that's the day he knew he was in love with her. And I think that's kind of what his backstory is. He's there for her amusement, more or less. I like that as my own personal.
Yeah.
Like I want to explain it. I feel like if that was the case, I feel like some of her entourage would be in on it and understand why he's like Zahid would probably know about this. Maybe or maybe not, I don't know, but because I don't recall Zahid that well, or Zahid probably still treats him like a threat or whatnot. And Kathy probably, like, I don't trust the news that this weird crazy druid that the queen brought in is telling her. You could be wrong about the conditions of the war. I don't trust the news that he's talking, whatever. And I don't know what his relationship with Glorp actually is, but yeah, but you get the idea. He's one of her victims, but he's been enchanted, I suppose, or bewitched, maybe, I don't know, with whatever dark magics she possesses. But he's in love with her. That's when he fell in love with the queen.
Does Frollo
it's Froyo.
That's what I almost said. What do they remember their life prior?
I don't think so. I think it's been like completely new person. Like doesn't remember anything before being Frollo. Kind of like how Smeagol doesn't remember anything before really being Smeagol. Just like, I'm Smeagol now.
Right.
Poor Frollo.
Did the queen allow you to keep the ability to talk to cats, or was that something that inadvertently survived the enchantment?
It's probably something that I want to say that it's probably something that survived, but he's been allowed to keep as well because of how useful it is for her. Like through proxy, like, oh, he can gather information and send information through this way that not everybody does. Like there's maybe a few people who can like talk to animals or whatever, but like out of convenience for her and just the way she can benefit from it, she allows him to continue to do so. And I don't think Frollo acknowledges it as a druid ability so much as he just can. He's like, I'm a Dr. Doolittle. Ooh, cool.
Any other questions?
No.
All
I
right.
don't think so.
Well,
I don't know why I said that. I don't have
Yeah.
any questions for myself.
we are over our regular time, and as such, there is still 10, actually 11 if you count that other one, 11 cards to still go through. However, this is still the same effect of drawing this card for Amber's turn. You want to read it, Amber?
Yeah. Well, the queen is under attack. Do you defend her with the entire battalion of chop chops?
Chop
We
chop.
do. Yes, I defend her. Are you kidding me?
Do you want to describe any of it? Because so now we all go around and kind of answer this question. I guess we could. I don't know. We can just kind of. I don't know. Like
Well, what happens when this card is drawn, Josh? What does the rule
the
say?
game. Oh yeah. I guess.
Look at the game.
Look at the game. Each player should answer the question in turn. Then the game is over.
Okay, then yeah. So I defend her.
Mm-hmm.
I basically it's if the assassination attempt occurs, let we know it's going to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Tell me what it's supposed to look like. I can't remember what the setup was. For this.
Yeah, John, can you say this? What the setup should look like?
Yeah, I think we. Oh, sorry. Am I still muted? No, I
You're
guess
good.
not. I thought I was still muted. Yeah, I think I gave the druids a spot along the route near a rocky pass that we had to go through. That would be a good place for an ambush point.
There you go.
So as our caravan moves through it, the druids began raining hell down on us.
And then that is when all the goblins that I have been training this entire time go ape shit. They I am close to the queen's quarters as possible. We've got our own little like goblin like brigade that's around that. We've got all of our shiny tin cans on. We got our chop swords out. And then the rest of the goblins, I go, get them, boys!
Chop chop.
Chop chop. And then they just start screwing up the rock face and trying to get at those druids.
Mm-hmm. I think for Non-Morty, I think what it looks like for them is like they're in the same like stagecoach or what thing that's being carried along, and they look to the queen like wide eye, like just pure white, a sheet of white, and they take out like a short sword. No, yeah, short sword. And they look at the queen, and they look outside, and they look at the queen again, and they drop their short sword and start crying.
Okay.
Wow.
Much pressure, huh?
Yep. They're never confident again.
Ow.
Yeah. So these kind of just curl up in a ball
I
in
think
the seat. What, Dave?
Yeah, I think Kathy and the Needles will defend the queen, and they will, all of the training and the formations and alternating volleys and et cetera, et cetera. And so to the best of their training, they will try to cut down those druids.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not effective. Or not nearly as effective as maybe they had planned. Number one, they were trained for like an open desert area, and this is a woodland, and so never had to shoot around trees before. But the druids are unleashing magic that again these archers aren't used to. Maybe summoning bears to come from the other side, or web spells and things like that are really limiting the effectiveness of these archers. And so they are trying, but not having the effect that Kathy would have really intended.
Mm. Let's go back to John.
Well, I think seeing the heir to the throne crumble, and my only hope of being released from this unliving hell, I will defend the queen, but half-heartedly.
Or no-heartedly?
Yeah, no-heartedly. My full heart isn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will harden my resolve that the next time that somebody rises up to want to take her out, I will pick better than these stupid druids.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Then last but not least, Frollo.
Frollo will defend the queen. He does. I kind of want to, because it's kind of like I played this goofy character. I set him up for whatever this, and then ended it with him being like this tragic story of once a druid turned into like a miserable shell of what he was, but didn't even realize it, right? So I want to think that during the fray, one of the druids recognizes him, and it is like, in the midst of the fray, because he's trying to defend the queen, but what's he going to do? He's writing notes on his arm in charcoal, wearing banana slippers, sackcloth. He's not equipped for this, and he can't really combat any of these people. He doesn't even remember what he's capable of. And one of the druids stops and is like, Alex? He's like, whoa. And then, like after recognition, they kind of like subdue him. Like this one person subdues him and like takes him away, and then in happy ending for him someplace else, he just kind of gets rehabilitated or whatever, and finds his own happy ending. I think that's what I want from him, at least. Is that cool with everybody?
No, it's fine.
Poor Frollo's been wearing banana slippers for a long time, and finally gets to wear some normal shoes, maybe.
Yeah. Awesome.
Most of the goblins die.
But gloriously.
Oh, yeah. So glorious. Chop, chop.
Chop, chop. Non-Morty is probably disposed of.
Oh,
I will dispose of him myself.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh, like a mercy thing, or just save him? Nope. I don't know.
No, he betrayed everything I thought he stood for.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All my hopes crushed.
My love has been crushed.
Oh, well, that has been For the Queen. Lots of questions, but I don't know. It's a super interesting game.
So we don't really ever get to decide if the queen makes it or not?
Nope. That's for another game.
What game is that?
I don't know, but there's probably plenty that we could play.
For the Queen 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
The Queenening.
The Queenening.
I guess in theory we could...
The re-queenening, yes.
We could, in theory... No, the question doesn't prompt you to say if she survives or not. Like, I guess we could ask each other, like, do you think you saved her life? I guess that would probably be a question.
I think we all basically, those of us who made a choice to defend or not defend, decided to defend her.
Yeah.
So
it seems like you saved your life, or her life, but what may have been of the retinue and the caravan and the war is questions that could be answered in another game.
I mean, this is just a story of us.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, this took like 100 years before, something like
That's
that.
hundreds of years.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Way before our time.
Probably not even a queen.
She's probably not even a queen, but that's what, at least in this these words that we use, that's what we called her tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's super. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good role building, character prompt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really fun.
Well, thanks for hanging out in chat or listening to this when this finally comes out on podcast or checking this out in the VODs. You can find other great shows at geekspective.com and on Twitter at Geekspective. And you can find me, Josh Long, on Twitter at EvilDMJosh. Where can they find you, Amber?
You can find me on Twitter at RocketOrca or go to rocketorca.com to see all of my graphic design work and all the stuff that I do, including all of the podcasts that I do for Geekspective.com, which includes The Warren of Petal Grove, which will be streaming here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, and Shapeshift, which is no longer streaming but coming out as a podcast. And then, of course, there's Red Mage, Blue Mage. Shout out to Wolfmere, who is the co-host of that. And then Tabletop Babble, which also shout out to Wolfmere, who is a co-host to that, as well as somebody else I'm going to pass this torch on to. John, take it away.
Yeah, you can find me at Crossways GM. Just did my first interview for Tabletop Babble. We should have it up soon. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun talking to people in the gaming industry that I admire and have led me to spend way too much money over the years.
Sweet. How about you, Brother John?
I'm Brother John. You can find me on Twitter at monochrome_guy or that_drawer. That's all I got.
Cool.
I'm brain farting and I'm like trying to remember to like enunciate my words.
No
but
problem.
I'm this close to just being like,
no problem. Last but not least, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Yeah, if you want to find me, it's at Steady Minotaur. If you like Geekspective podcast, you should check out Bringing Alice to Athens. I'm the showrunner and MC for that whole nonsense. It's a talk show / comedy / real serious at times podcast. It's fun and I enjoy it, so I appreciate having the forum to talk about weird stuff and occupy a kind of unique niche in the Geekspective lineup.
Yep. And finally, thank you to Alex Roberts and Evil Hat Production for making the game. You can find Alex Roberts on Twitter at Muscular Pikachu. She has a lot of really good stuff. You should follow her. And with that, see you all later. Bye-bye.
bye.